How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
Hello, you are listening to the podcast that drinks and knows things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Doghouse. I am your host, Glenn of House Dog. With me, as always, Ben, a.k.a. Sly of House McLean.
Ahoy, hoy.
Lucan of House Black Mead.
Hello, people.
Abby, a.k.a. Gertie of House Condensation.
Hello, Glenn.
And
Glenn.
we have a guest host. Our guest host today, Bailey Riddle. How you doing, Bailey?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, not so bad.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
What are we drinking?
Well, in honor of the end of this episode, I got some Steel Reserve Alloy Series Blackberry. I have no idea what kind of booze this is, but it's 8% alcohol by volume, and it's purple.
Steel Reserve
style. Steel Reserve.
Gets the job done.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Get you drunk shit.
Yeah, it's some purple.
Real
It's
cheap.
a purple drink. And
Yep.
Purple drink.
It tastes good.
It tastes like a Big League Chew grape special.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. I have a Henry's hard soda.
Henry's hard
Orange.
soda.
Yeah.
That's an option. I have a jalapeno beer.
Jalapeno.
Lil Lucy's hot pepper ale. Tastes like jalapenos. Or no, those pepperoncinis you get off, you order Papa John's.
Pizzas.
Yeah.
Maybe it's what's like the garlic sauce, and they just ferment that for a while. All right, and I've got salted caramel brown ale. Yummy. How about you, Bailey?
That does not sound appetizing, but I have
None.
a box of wine
Hell yeah.
Black
The
box.
black box.
fully prepared.
She's seen this show before.
Definitely gonna know by the end of
I
that
knew
box.
what I was getting into.
she will know.
By the end of that box, she must.
All right, moving on to our friend of the show shout out. Looks like Lucan, you're on the clock.
All right, and I'm going to throw it to Bailey.
She's
because
on the clock.
We put our guests on the spot for friends of the show. Obviously, you know other people in social media, anyone. Give someone a shout out that you think people should check out what they're doing.
I am going to give a shout out to my Hogwarts Radio co-host, Terrence Pinkston. He is on Twitter at Terrances, and he definitely listens to this show and loves it.
Hey, we love Terrence. He's
Yeah.
a good
He's
guy.
awesome.
Are you going to say the other
I
part?
mean, it's in green for the host.
In green, it's you.
You too can be featured as our friend of the show by following us on Twitter at No and Drink.
Our show is produced with the love and support of our wonderful imaginary Legion Patreons.
Legion Patreon.
Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. Imaginary. News, current events. Anybody got anything? I came across a Twitter post from Game of Thrones, says, to honor the great houses and the Night's Watch with the Game of Thrones single malt Scotch whiskey collection coming this fall. So that's cool.
Yeah, so we'll probably, hopefully, be able to feature that on one of our season 5 episodes, I'd guess.
Maybe.
Somewhere late season 5
In the fall.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get some of that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, cool, Glenn.
Previous episode recap. Lucan, back to you.
Tywin melts down ice. Jaime refuses Casterly Rock. Tyrion welcomes the Prince of Dorne to King's Landing. Sansa reconnects with her favorite fool. The most interesting man in the world, Dario, replaces Fabio Dario as Dany gets pointed to Marine. Tormund hates fucking Thens.
But does it like regular Thens?
No, he loves to fuck regular Thens,
There
but
you
he
go.
hates fucking Thens. And Jon gets away with murder. Hound goes cuckoo for chicken puffs, and Arya resumes her needlework.
Interesting. So today's episode is titled The Lion, the Rose, and the Wardrobe. Today's date is July 20th, 2018. We are talking about Season 4, Episode 2, The Lion and the Rose. Episode duration 52 minutes. It aired on April 13th, 2014. Director Alex Graves. Writer George R. Martin. Benji, episode description.
The Lannisters and their guests gather in King's Landing. Stannis loses patience with Davos. Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet.
Sounds good. So let's move on to Quill and Tankard Pub Trivia. Now, I had a good run-of-the-mill podcast that drinks and knows things bullshit question ready. But I decided against it, and I got a different question. I was going to say, when Joffrey hits the pie, how many doves fly out?
A shit ton.
13.
I just didn't want to keep
You really know that.
pausing and rewinding and all that.
It's a good guess. That's a
All right. So what's our question?
Okay, 1 second.
Uno segundo.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, Tyrion's squire presents Joffrey with The Lives of the Four Kings, a book detailing the reigns of the Four Kings. Who is the author?
all right.
Oops.
And Bailey, are you typing in yours on your screen there? You're part of this too.
I sure was not.
Do you know?
Yeah, just don't hit enter. And my problem is I don't have subtitles anymore because I had to go to different means, and so I have an idea of this, but not sure.
Absolutely no.
All right.
As a book person, I feel like I should have been paying attention.
Ready?
Everybody ready?
Hit the music, Luke.
Hopefully my answer comes up here.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
All right, enter it up. Okay. Bailey, why don't you go first?
I have not a fucking clue.
That's pretty close. Abby,
That's my exact answer.
you had the same thing. Okay. Luke,
Oh, for real? Did she write that?
Yeah, she.
Okay, mine didn't show up. I'm not kidding. I hit my little check mark. It's the exact same answer.
I put
Verbatim.
I put
Great minds.
colloquo votar, which is not right, but he did write the Jade Compendium.
Yeah.
So I went with unknown author in the world.
Unknown
that
author.
the show could have just thrown in there for all I know.
Grand Maester Krates or Krates.
it was actually Grand Maester Kaeth.
Mumble.
Kaeth.
Okay.
Point for Glenn.
All right. I knew it was something along the line. I couldn't understand him entirely. It was kind of the same thing with fucking Frey.
He
but-
says it, but I think like Joffrey getting the Valyrian sword just kind of overshadows.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean,
all
I
that,
made sure. I won't lie. I took notes on that because I thought that'd be the question because I wrote the entire thing out, but I didn't understand what Tyrion
That's
said.
when I started running in and out of the room, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I thought you were gonna say what are the names of the four kings, and I was like, I'm not gonna remember that either. I should.
Darren the Dragon, Darren the Great, or Darren the Dragon, Darren the...
Jaehaerys the first should be in there.
No,
Should be.
should be. It was the Unworthy, Aegon the Unworthy, and let me see, I have a Bailey the Blessed, Aegon the Unworthy, Darren the Good, and
John Hammond.
Darren the Young Dragon.
Anybody
John
remember
Hall.
what the question was from last time? I haven't listened to the episode.
Question from last time.
I just wonder. I'm not trying to get points or anything. I
Let's
just
see if I can get to it real quick because I don't remember what it was, but I can get to it really
Well,
quickly.
how about can I do the opening credits and then
Yes.
you can say your piece? Opening credits: The Dink, King's Landing, Dragonstone, Dreadfort, Winterfell, The Wall, Marine. We have a verdict.
Yeah, so, Abby, the question was, Tormund and Ygritte meet the Thens. What was the name of the main Then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his name is Stir, the Magnar of Thens.
Stir of Fry.
Stir of House Fry.
Stir. Okay.
So, nothing real new on our credits there, right? Same as episode 1?
I think so. I think pretty sim.
Still good. Good
Yep.
news.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
The Dreadfort, Ramsay, Reek, Tansy, Miranda. Ramsay takes his goyles on a hunt. Ben, go ahead.
Miranda's got that crazy chick kind of hot. You know, the one that you know you want to, but you know you shouldn't because you're going to wake up with, like, your clothes on fire in the front yard.
Or like in the middle of a pentagon on
Yeah,
fire.
Exactly. She kind of reminds me of the chick from The Craft.
Or you don't
know, like,
wake up at all, ever again.
In the tub,
Yeah.
full of ice, no kidney.
All right. Luke, you got...
I had good dogs. Poor girl. Like, very well behaved, well trained dogs, I should say. It was impressive training.
For the dogs?
For the
that
dogs.
look like Poe, kind of?
No, these are not quite Poe. These are more hounds. These are more.
They got ears.
They do have ears, and Poe
And
has
tails.
no tails, no ears on dire Poe.
No brains.
Okay, I digress. Did you think of something, Abby, or no?
Nope. Zero thoughts.
All right, Bailey.
I just don't understand why Miranda wants Ramsay. Even with his power, or his potential to have power, I don't get it.
Right, I guess she's
Just as
Buying in on,
sociopathic as he is, maybe.
the one horse in town, I guess.
I guess
don't know.
so.
Yeah, this is Big Daddy Boss Man's only heir, not even officially right
Well,
now, but only one in line right
The
now.
best she could do,
Well,
I
when
guess.
you're raised by the kennel master, you kind of grow appreciation for people who can train dogs and can handle them.
Yeah.
So that's why.
See, Bailey, that's why.
Dog training.
There's your answer.
I still don't get it, but
Still
I
don't
mean,
get it.
it's an explanation.
It's a reason.
Right. My note is I think at this point Ramsay is the sociopath he definitely takes the cake as public enemy number one, as being more how do you say it, just
He's
evil.
the most
Yeah.
seemingly the most evil person in the show.
He's the
Yeah.
best hateable character there is
Yes.
right now.
He is
The
the true
douchiest
chaotic
douche of
evil.
them all.
The douchiest douche.
douchebag.
Yeah, he's the true chaotic evil.
House douchebaggery.
If we're going with it.
All right.
Joffrey, close second.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that this episode.
I'm sure we'll get there. All right. Next scene: Roose, Ramsay, Reek, Fatwalda, Lockie.
Lucky.
Lotch. Roose introduces his new bride, and Ramsay introduces his new pet, Luke.
So Roose says that he had to smuggle himself back into the north to get past the Ironborn.
Yeah.
I just find that interesting that he's like kind of haggard, getting back up here. And Roose just, I kind of like him in a weird way because he is kind of a quiet hard ass.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Like he's so cerebral and he just
Plays his cards.
he plays his cards very intelligently. He's
and
very
close to the chat. Like,
he's very a similar character to Tywin, but a lot more quiet, much quieter about it, and it's the subtlety of it. It's not like microfinger subtlety. It's like, yeah, I'm still a hard ass,
Not
but
like
it's kind of a combination of microfinger and Tywin.
Not like
if
that.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Hey, look
Yeah.
at me.
Hey, look at me!
But the
Don't you
one-
wanna hear a song.
the one difference between him and Tywin, I would say, is he actually does he shows emotion, but in a very, like you said, subtle way. But he actually shows that he does care about Ramsay, but he doesn't. It's a weird.
He cares about that
Dynamic,
lineage
yeah.
portion of it.
Yeah, exactly.
In a weird way.
Yeah,
It's not like Tywin does, where it's like
it's all about family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mi familia. All right, Bailey.
Let's see. I really wish that blade would have slipped just a smidge.
Right.
It would have gotten rid of so many problems.
And I think he was taunting Theon at that point, like just asking for it almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he won't do it.
He's not going to do it.
Look,
'cause
Dad, my pet's so good he won't kill me.
even though I'm being such a jackass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that this scene definitely Roose knocks Ram down a peg, just reminding that he's not a Bolton and he is a Snow, and Ramsay's trying to be proactive and do these things, and basically without Roose's knowledge or anything like that, and Roose just kind of calls him out on it, and what the fuck,
And Abby, I know you've kind of on the last couple episodes have been
Like,
getting on that.
how dare you send word to anybody as, from the son of Roose Bolton, who is whatever he is.
Warden of the North.
There you go. Like, unless you are the Warden of the North, don't be sending letters.
Right.
That's a bad call.
I mean, that'd been like Rob doing something like that
On
when Ned was
behalf-
just in the South, like before anything happened.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if he was before Ned got taken prisoner and called a betrayer or a traitor, it'd been like if Rob started doing shit just because, right?
No, because Rob was left in charge as Lord of Winterfell in
And so
Ned's
was he.
absence.
he was acting.
He was
I-
acting.
I know, and so I'm saying
And
that
I acted.
it's completely justified in their action, in taking the steps that he did. I mean, did he do the right steps? No, but he's justified in it because he's acting Warden of the North. He's acting,
Right.
I mean, he definitely has the right to do it. He still also has to answer to the
Yes.
real.
Yeah.
It's like when
Just
Tywin
like-
comes back and takes the handship back from Tyrion.
Exactly.
He had to answer for all the things that he did, and then most of them got undone.
Yeah.
Captured
Yeah.
the Lannister boys and took all these people, and everybody's mad because I didn't want you to capture and defeat the Lannisters. I wanted to draw them in, and this was such
And we have a mill.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you're right. That was a funny line. But like that's the issue here.
No, I don't have the mountain dead. I have a mill.
Yeah. Like that's my issue with Ramsay here. Like stupid strategy. Maybe we should learn from this by season 4. If you want something to happen, they need to just communicate better. Faster ravens.
I think that's good. That holds true in real life.
Yeah.
Just communicate
Like-
better. It solves a lot of issues.
Look, I told you to go take care of Theon. What I mean by taking care of him is put him in a cell. No more. Like, how are you going to be mad at Ramsay? And Ramsay, you're just
Yeah,
a douche.
You mad, bro?
I just think he didn't agree with the stuff that he did. If he would have went to like the grocery store and restocked on all the food, the drinks, the paper plates, the napkins.
Just keep the pantry
Didn't
full.
buy the right plates.
He bought Cottonelle instead of Wilton Northern. This is
Didn't you get
bullshit.
that memo? We're not using paper plates anymore. God damn it. God damn it.
You can wash a plastic plate and get at least 5 to 10 uses out of that fucker.
Quick shout out to those in the chat real quick. DA,
Sure.
Rich, nice to see you guys here. Hit that like button. Share that shit. We'd appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And also, who the fuck's Jon Snow?
Fuck's Jon Snow.
Yeah.
That's one of my that's one of the most quotable lines I know that we
Right.
just randomly throw out there. We talk about Jon Snow. Who the fuck's,
the
Jon
fuck's
Snow?
Jon Snow?
Just offhand. Nothing to do with whatever we're talking about Jon about. But you mentioned Jon Snow. Who the fuck's Jon Snow?
All right, let's move on. King's Landing's where we go. Tyrion, Jaime, Pod Braun. Jaime and Tyrion share a meal, and Tyrion provides a training partner. Abby?
I'm just real happy to see Braun back. That's all
He's
I
off
have
your
to
list
say.
now
He
of
is
worried?
off my list of worries.
So we still have Syrio Fronell.
Yes.
And Benjen.
Yes.
And
Nymeria.
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 Those were the 4 at
The
the
big-
end of
the big
season
4.
3. The
Yeah.
big 4 on the
And
where the
season-
fuck are they list.
Season 4, premiere really knocked one of them off my list, so good.
There you go.
Happy girl.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Bailey.
To me, it just doesn't seem like Jaime is a quitter. So thankfully Tyrion was there to talk some sense into him and get him back into the swing of things.
Pun intended.
get his
there.
mind right. a bit.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Jamie, he kind of admits that he isn't good enough anymore. Toward Tyrion's just like, look, I could help you out. I know a guy.
I got a guy.
And then, later on, you see him and Bronn teaching him more the dirtier side of swordsmanship. So that was kind of interesting. And Jamie, his whole life's been taught one way. Being taught a different way is just kind of different for him.
On that, like, it's actually really interesting that he's learning to fight left-handed, and it's like a dirtier style that he's learning. I mean, if you look at like right and left, like there's always symbolism on
Symbology.
Like, the Mao hand, the bad hand is the left hand. So like,
Southpaw.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just interesting that that's the case. I hadn't really thought about it for this instance, but I think that's pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah, the dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness. That is a fucking great line. I've watched this episode probably 3 times in the last 2 weeks just because having it randomly on. But every time that line, I always just perk up. Like, I'll have it on background, and I always chuckle. But anybody else notice when Bronn, he goes, I hear you're like your father and you shit gold. And Jamie literally reaches into the back of his pants and
his
pulls
back
out
pocket and throws the
bag of gold to him. It's like,
Yeah.
the little on the nose.
All right, Luke, did you have another thought? Or
I did.
Go for it.
Tyrion is really a great brother here. You know, whenever,
Good job.
good job, Tyrion. Jamie, or Jaime Lannister, is having a difficult time with this new appendage. And he knocks over the wine, and he's like, clearly embarrassed about this. He tells Pod to kind of, get the fuck out. I'll clean it up myself.
Fucking shit up by the number.
And Tyrion's like, it's just wine. Like, it's gonna happen. We're gonna work through this, but kind of like Bailey said, he's not a quitter. He's got to do it, and it's just nice to see that Tyrion's there in probably Jamie's one of his toughest spots that he's been in for like an extended period of time. There you get in a battle, you get into a tight spot, you can fight your way out of it. He doesn't have that option anymore, and it's good for them to be there, and he's kind of just doing his Tyrion things.
And Tyrion will provide a solution, whereas if it was like Tywin or someone that was bitched at him or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, because it reminds me of Bran and Tyrion. Tyrion brings the blueprints for the way that Bran can ride a horse, and this is almost like exactly the same thing. He's helping the cripples, bastards, and broken things work through those
hardships,
detrimental issues, whatever.
Get over the fact that now, all right, the path isn't just this clear.
Take your pride
easy-
out of it.
Yeah.
Work
all
through
right.
it.
Let's just figure out what you can do, and we'll go from there. You're not
Yeah.
dead. You're not dying. So let's just move past that sadness.
Life
You lost a hand. Get over it.
You'll be fine.
Death is so final.
have another
But instead
hand.
of just saying like, what are you gonna do now? Quit your job. Go be Lord of Castle the Rock. Like that's
bills. I don't like them either. I don't think I'm gonna pay them anymore.
like we're gonna find a new way. Tyrion is the man in this episode. He is the man.
He is the man. All right, anything else to add?
The guy's name was Laygood. He had thunderbolts on his
On his shield.
shield.
Yep.
Damn it, Glenn, for not
I
answering
was
that.
right for that one too.
Whoops.
wait, I will.
The guy that Bronn was
fucks
fucking his wife.
Oh, yeah.
His name
Is this
Laygood.
place safe? His name was Legged. Is this safe out here? Well, the way she screams, I don't think anyone's coming down.
He's a screamer.
This is where I fuck his wife.
No, Legged. I fuck his wife down here.
Some random just platform,
Just
like
broad
right by
doing
the
broad
sea.
things. Right. That was really interesting choreography where Jamie kind of almost goes in the drink a few times, just like showing him uncomfortable. Like his footwork's all fucked up. Which, if you think about like switch hitting in baseball, like
just about to say,
it's fucked up. Like it just throws you off all balance.
Yeah, sure.
It's unnatural.
It is unnatural. It's just wrong.
You lose.
Good day, sir. I just watched that last night.
We did too.
Yeah.
It was on.
AMC, I think.
What is this?
Yeah, it was.
It's
Willy Wonka and the
Willy
Chocolate
Wonka.
Factory. It's a very.
We talked about it. We talked about it all weekend. We referenced it every episode this past weekend. It's come up.
Mom made me turn it
There was a
on.
lot on the trivia.
All right,
You
all right.
lose.
Next scene: Tyrion, Varys, and Pod. Varys warns about number being reported to Cersei.
Number.
Number meaning hashtag Shea Stadium. Pound sign.
Yeah, there's it.
All right. Who's
okay.
up? Bailey, I think.
Tyrion's got some shit to figure out, and I hope he gets it together.
Yeah, get your shit together. It's amazing. Like last
Get your
scene,
shit together.
last
Pack it
scene
up,
he's helping somebody
put it in
else
the
out,
bag.
but then he's in a big predicament or whatever. So
Yep.
shit rolls downhill. All right, my note, not a great one, but "The Heat Is On" by Glenn Frey.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. All right, Ben.
1987 Cardinals theme song. But
I remember that.
okay, so yes, I know I'm probably the only one that does actually remember that, but
82 was Celebration.
yes. But have you ever known your father to make idle threats? Yeah, that's a pretty powerful,
I don't think I do.
no.
Oh, you asking me? Or
Now that you mentioned it.
is that a question?
I'm pretty
No.
sure that's the only parenting advice my mother ever gave me. Don't make idle threats. That's it.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
The key.
That's one of
Key
them.
to life.
Yeah, the key to
It's key to
life.
leadership in general.
Don't make
Do what
idle-
you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Make a claim. Stick
If you don't get off the couch, if you don't want to get up off the couch, don't say, "Don't make me get off this couch," because your ass better get off that couch. I just let my kids run wild and do whatever the fuck they want. I don't threaten them. It's fine.
I don't have a whole lot on this scene, really.
We don't have anything.
I don't have anything written down. And Glenn's going to comment that out on that every time I don't have something written down on this episode, which is fine. But I just like the Varys Tyrion relationship. It's always seems healthy. Like it's combative at times, but it's usually productive still, and that's the end goal. Like I like that they both have their heads on their shoulders for some sort of for the good of the realm viewpoint.
Unlike Rob Stark or something like that.
Well, no, I mean as opposed to like almost everyone else in King's Landing. Oh, head on your shoulders,
Head on your
sorry.
shoulders, yeah.
Or Ned Stark.
Or Ned
Head and
Stark, yeah.
shoulders.
Going along with your point, though, with it, because they were talking as the conversation starts about, well, can you trust him? Can you, who can you trust? Blah, blah, blah. And Pod's literally right there, hearing all of this, and they know, oh, he's cool. He's fine.
He's one of us.
Yeah.
This scene, in season 2, where they were like, "Do you trust your squire?" And he was like, "Pod, he's the fucking man."
Yeah.
He
'Cause
gets
that
a
was
leather
even before-
jacket.
Oh, no, it was right.
Before any of this shit went
That was
down.
10. It was season 10. No, 2 after
Season
10.
10.
Season 2, episode 10. Right after.
Yeah.
It's like,
after
how much do
Blackwater,
you how much
right when
do you
he
trust?
wakes up.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call.
But, all right.
Abby, did you have
I'm with Luke on this boat.
nothing? Okay.
On this
never
Jojen
mind.
boat.
About this Jojen boat.
Sorry, I asked. Still in King's Landing, Giant, Baby, Pussy, Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei, Tywin, Mace, Tyrell, hashtag Shea Stadium, Grand Maester Pycelle. Giant, Baby, Pussy opens some wedding gifts.
I couldn't think of a funny thing for that.
So basically, the problem I have with this scene is Joffrey gets the widow's wail, if you will, and he just reminisces about cutting Ned Stark's head off. The glory days.
Yeah.
Just 'cause
That he had
clearly-
no part, like
right,
of the actual doing it.
right.
Yeah, and then he talks about just like when I went on the Blackwater, and
Yeah.
it's like
Winning all these wars. He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
Such an stay imaginary.
He is staying imaginary with the best of them.
Yeah.
The best of them.
See, that's what our patrons are like.
Yeah.
All of them are just like Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah, be like Joffrey.
That was the worst promo ever.
no.
We have 0
Guilty.
Patreons or patrons or whatever you call them at this
I'm
point.
talking to
No.
2 of them right
Yeah,
now.
well,
Well,
there's
since,
Fail.
I'll keep that comment to myself.
yeah.
Whoops.
that was good.
For the record, we love our patrons, and none of them are like Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah.
That we are aware of
We
legally,
hope. We hope.
Hopefully not.
for all intents and purposes.
Unless that's your thing, and then we're cool with it.
And that's fine.
Where would
You
you
do
dig?
you.
You do you, but don't tell us.
Just videotape it next time.
Sure, yeah.
Put it on HBO.
We need a citation, please. Benji.
Cersei ratting out Tyrion. It's like, bitch, he could have fucked you over, you and Jamie, so many times with Tywin. But no, but the first chance you get, oh, that's his whore, and Tywin's like, bring her to my chambers. What the fuck, you dick? Both of you. Just even though I don't like Shay, just still, come on, Cersei. It's a dick move.
I think I missed that part of the scene.
Yeah, Shay's walking up, I think, giving Sansa wine or something, and Cersei leans over to Tywin,
and she's like, "That's the whore.
That's the one. That's his whore, the dark-haired one."
Gotcha. Yeah. That's right.
Yep.
And Tywin goes, "Bring her to my room tonight. Bring her to my chambers tonight, and we'll figure this out."
I'll show her.
Too.
Great. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Must have been about minute 13.
Yeah.
It was right before the.
Actually, no.
It was right after the chalice.
Because
it's right when it switched over from the Dreadfort.
No, because this was my question, and I was like, God damn, it's going to give away the question, maybe. I don't know.
What was the question?
The trivia question was
who wrote
the book.
Oh, yeah.
This is all right in there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was right before the book, right after Mace Tyrell given the chalice.
Okay.
Luke.
Yeah, going back to the book, it's a book every good king should read. I thought it was weird that Joffrey put on such a good face when he received the book at first. He was like, after we won this war, everyone could use with a little more wisdom. And Tyrion was like,
What the fuck?
what the fuck just happened?
Did I just
like,
grow?
even-
Who are
Did I
you
just
and what'd
grow
you do
2
with my
feet?
nephew?
Because last episode they were calling each other monsters, and like it's just like what? Because
Right.
even in this public arena, Joffrey is still usually just a total
Cunt.
dickbag,
Yeah.
and Tyrion is just floored by this. Like,
Yeah,
that's not what I expected.
his speech almost seemed like scripted. Like, this is the book of by Grand Maester Caith, and it does all this stuff, and then the reaction from Joffrey is just like, did not see that one.
Yeah. Do you think because it was Tywin's gift that was next, which was the sword, right?
Right.
Do you think Tywin had any idea that would have happened to? I mean, because I would imagine he did some of the planning of this to kind of align the gifts.
I don't think so.
I don't think Tywin would have had a hand
We'll
in
make
it,
sure my
or
gifts
even
last so we can
figures
destroy
it
all
out.
the other gifts.
Because Tywin appreciates knowledge and history and all that. So I don't foresee.
He likes to get lit. Is that a literature joke?
I thought it was funny. All right. It's a dad joke. I like them. I'm a fan.
Get lit.
Can we just talk about the fact that I was holding out hope, strong, really Tywin-sized hope for that going to Tyrion, not Joffrey.
The sword.
Oh.
The second sword. And I even, if you watch when it's being made in, the open, one is smaller.
It's like Jaime and Tyrion.
This is a regular sized sword to
So when
Tyrion.
he was
One's a two-handed,
here's
one's a
this
bastard
Joffrey. I
blade,
was like,
basically.
what the what?
Yeah. A
No,
bastard blade's
it's
at 3/4.
No, it's not. It's 3 halves. It's 1.5. It's a 1.5 sword.
1.5 sword.
Is a bastard blade.
Oh.
It's a one-handed and a 1.5.
Well,
which is a
whatever,
bastard blade.
bastard, not bastard, 3/4 full.
I
whatever.
agree. The way it's
it's shot, it looks like a man,
Jamie's
normal
tall.
sized, and then
Tyrion is
Tyrion's
less
not.
tall.
a sword I
And
can
then a
wield.
baby sword.
Yes, I'm so upset at this point, but it gets better, folks. So.
But it gets better.
Gets better, thank God.
I sure hope so.
All right, next scene.
Nope. Bailey, you got something on that one?
I mean, it was just so painful to watch that book be massacred. I'm pretty sure I cried a little bit the first time I watched it.
Yeah, it's rough. It's almost like kind of comical how the pages start flying out. Like that's not
it's
going to
almost
happen when you hit
it
with a
almost seems
sword.
like it's halved, at one point where the book just is cut in half and they just fly off. But
It's like, there was a fan underneath the table. Who would have thought?
Right, like there was
The
definitely no
monster book
cover
of
holding those
monsters,
pages.
where his book is flying out
Oh,
his
yeah.
pages.
Yeah, I thought it had like a wooden cover on top because I know initially when the first 2 hits there's wood chips, and then after that it's just the pages are just
Everywhere.
just ridiculous amount of pages.
What a
Now,
dick.
correct me if I'm wrong really quick.
Okay.
Does he referenced the books in the show in Winterfell in like episodes 1 or 2 in the library. This is probably a book thing, but
In the show, no.
okay. All right. Because book-wise, I know he references, hey, I've only seen like 4 of these. And I was wondering if it was this book that was... I don't believe so, but...
No, because he does give... This is the same book that he gives to Joffrey in the book.
Yes.
This is the book in the book.
Okay.
At the same point.
Gotcha.
There are other texts referenced in the Winterfell library.
Yeah.
I know what you're
There was
talking
only
about.
like 4.
I don't think
Like
this
a-
is one
I
of
don't
them.
think... Okay.
Works.
And the
Sided
Jade
page.
Compendium might be one of those.
Okay. That could be. But I do remember in the book-wise, he was saying that there's only a handful of these... of this collection,
Mhm.
you know. So
Yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
where I was.
This is a very rare,
collector's
Yeah.
like
item.
one of 3 or 4
yeah.
copies of this.
Sure. All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Next we have Tyrion #Shea Stadium Baron. Tyrion kicks the hashtag addiction and sends her on her way. Benji.
I have enjoyed my time with you, or I have enjoyed my time with all of them, and I have enjoyed my time with you especially. But now that time is over. Fucker, I felt that way 3 seasons ago. Come on.
It seems like he's kind of toyed with the idea of, like, he knows that this... He's known since it started that this is where it was going
Not
Yeah.
going to work out.
have to
It
go
had-
to.
I had to.
Right.
It's just been a struggle
Yeah.
to watch it finally get there.
Yeah, he's trying to be nice, for a while.
That's
And
the
then
problem.
Can we do a show of hands? Who here feels bad for Shay? Like, at all? Like, is that no
No.
hands going up? Okay. Rebel without a cause. Rebel with a cause.
I mean, as a whore, like, it sucks because you're a whore and,
But now she
But-
just got the ultimate. She's getting a fucking house in Pentos. She kind of got the pretty woman treatment here. You know,
That's true.
I mean, it's like
Nobody wants to be second best, though. Nobody wants to be looked at and say, you are not fit
You are
to
a
bear
whore.
my children. That,
fair.
Glenn, I think you have the line that goes right along with that, don't you?
Yeah.
yeah, basically, he says, "You're a whore. Sansa is fit to bear my children, and you are not."
And you are not.
Did anybody else
can't
get the
believe
feeling
I'm
he
in
was
love with a
with the accent? It was shifting a little bit. He kind of went a little Ron Burgundy. You're a whore, and Sansa's not. She is fit to bear my
A
children.
little over the top.
You know, it was like
I can
little
see
Ron
it.
Burgundy.
I can see
Ron
it.
Burgundy.
You stay classy, King's Landing.
Stay classy, Shay. Now get the fuck out.
Go fuck yourself, Cersei.
And I think he was kind of putting on an act there because his emotions are tied up into this. So the tougher
Yeah.
he makes him, he stands up and tries to do this.
what I want.
gotta
He
stand
can't make
your
eye
ground.
contact with the whole time.
Yeah.
He doesn't look her in the face because he can't. Because you got to tell her to go because you know that you have to. He
'Cause
doesn't want to.
he
Shay knows it
overheard-
too,
Doesn't want
though.
to.
Well,
that's
that's
why she wanted the breakup. That's why she wanted the awkward. Then look me in the face, bitch, and tell me
Do it
this.
yourself.
Yeah, tell me it.
But he overheard Cersei and Tywin. Like, literally, he heard. That's why he was like, fuck. Well, and it also after Varys tells him that he hears Cersei point her out,
Right.
so with it, yeah, he has to for her protection in his mind.
Yeah, kind of up shit creek without a paddle.
That's exactly where.
All right, Luke, you have another note?
It's basically
The same thing.
Yeah, reference to
We'll skip that
South Park Goobax episode from the
I
future.
think I really should probably watch South
And,
Park to understand anything they're talking
There-
about ever.
It is.
No,
it
I
is
thought
good.
that was the Meet the Jeffersons
No,
episode.
It
no,
was
it's
episode
because it's when they
54.
come in and take their jobs and they basically it's time to. We're gonna go and put a lowercase t
This is
in
Mr.
Shay's
Jefferson.
yard for time to leave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Meet the Jeffersons episode.
I don't know. It's South Park. It's
Yeah,
funny.
Hilarious.
It's a Ku Klux Klan thing. They don't. No. They don't realize that that's what they're saying. It's funny because they're like, we should go put a lowercase t in their yard and set it on fire. And lowercase t for time to
The
leave.
Goobacks was they took our jobs.
Yeah,
Right. So it probably is the other one.
yeah.
But either way,
Completely offensive.
time to leave.
Hashtag time to leave.
Hashtag time to leave.
Abby, you have anything else?
No.
Besides,
Now it's time to.
that's the way you break up.
That's the way you break up. You get slapped in the face. You look at her. I don't know. satisfying. He said it.
Did she slap him?
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't.
It's all
She
about
slapped
that
Braun.
He said she
Did
said.
No, she slapped Braun, yeah.
She slapped Braun.
Oh, Braun totally deserved
She
it. I
showed
don't know
it.
why. He's just
For
got that
something.
face.
He's got a face worth slapping.
He does. She
Slappy
slapped
face.
somebody.
Jerome Flynn, a slappable face. That's on his resume now.
Up on the roof.
Up on the roof
Just
with a
ask-
slappable
Slap
face.
face.
Just ask Lena Headey.
Yeah.
That's true.
You could do that.
You'll never see them on screen together.
Nope.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Bailey.
I mean, that's
watch
about it.
for it.
I feel bad for Tyrion. You can tell he really didn't want to do that, but he knew he had to for Shade's best interest.
Right. He didn't want to put it like that. Like.
But she wasn't going otherwise.
Exactly.
He had to seem heartless about the whole thing in order to get her to go.
Right. It make it seem worse so it's easier to actually do it.
Well, with
yeah.
any hope, she would have just stayed and taken the consequences.
Right. Yeah, he's got to
Right,
say.
and that's what she was
time's up.
just kind of trying to talk her way back in.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then the waterworks don't work.
he laid the hammer down.
I hate it when the waterworks don't work.
Whoops.
You gotta switch up tactics. It really sucks.
Slap Braun's next tactic.
Struggle.
I need bronze to walk around me all the time.
All right. Anybody got anything
Nope, ready
else
to
to
go.
add?
Jojen train?
Jojen
Take
train.
it a Jojen train?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Shay.
All aboard.
Dragonstone, we go.
Jojen.
Melisandre. Stannis, Davos, Selyse, Axl Rose, Florent, Shireen. A sacrifice was made to her lore. A dinner is shared, and Mel introduces Shireen to the light. Lucan.
I thought we had a pretty good Stannis moment in here when Selyse is talking about how shitty Shireen is. It's like, she's like the sweetest girl ever. It's just because she hasn't fallen into this religion that you are so fanatical about that just makes Shireen just a piece of garbage, basically.
and she wasn't a son.
Right.
I'm sure it's
and
a problem.
Stannis is like, she's my daughter. You will not strike her. That was a good Stannis moment. It was.
Yep.
It's nice to see that him, because he does care for Shireen, and he doesn't give a shit about what Selyse thinks. You don't do that to my kid, no matter who the fuck you are.
No.
I appreciated that.
He appreciates it. And that's what I
Hashtag.
appreciate about you.
Is that what you appreciate about me, Glenn?
Abby, go ahead.
I just thought it was interesting that, she let her brother burn. Interesting.
Would you do the same?
And if you had to
Depends
pick,
on the brother.
We all know that answer, so that's all right. I love you too, Ab.
sorry, Narrow Sea.
Exactly. That's my baby. Don't ever.
Babies burn?
Babies. Oh, God, this is getting worse. All of you stop talking before I have another hashtag on my life that is not what I said.
40s, so you could do 40.
We're just adding
Babies
hashtags
are
at
for
this
burning. Words, hashtag
point.
Abby
Burn,
lines.
Burn, baby, burn.
Hashtag baby is best kindling.
Oh, God.
Okay, anyways.
All right, yes, moving on.
Bailey.
I really like the quote. There's only one hell, princess. The only one the one we live in now, and I feel like that's really relevant to the world that we live in currently.
I agree.
And I'm not a huge Mel fan, so I was really kind of pleased with that scene.
Yep.
I concur with both of those.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
line.
agreed. Yeah,
hell,
it's-
hell on earth is what we call it. So.
Ooh, baby, there's a hell on earth.
All right. My note. I have two things I want to say. This brings tears to my eyes. My sacrifice.
Can you take
This-
me high?
This is especially funny because we were watching Harry Potter Deathly Hallows
Yeah.
Part 1.
And I was like, is this where they made the Creed videos?
it literally, one of the areas that they are traveling
Has to
to
be.
is one of the places where they shot Mass Sacrifice videos.
They
Did
have
they?
to.
Yeah.
So I wasn't just bullshitting.
You might have just been bullshit. I didn't fact check
I was
you.
bullshitting.
I was trusting you here.
So that was the exact location.
That was.
Confirmed.
Same rock and everything.
My next thought. It's kind of wild that Selyse has these feelings about Shireen Being as she just watched her brother get burned to the stake without giving two shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's your brother, man. Like she is something else. You know, like Celeste is an odd duck. She's fallen so hardcore into this cult. I mean, is kind of what it feels like.
Did you see, Lord Davis? Their sins, they're all burnt away. Did you see? I'm sure they did, my queen. I'm sure they're grateful. You know, it's like, yeah, that whole interaction where she's just giddy. She's fucking giddy about lighting her brother up. And this scene right here, and yeah, I do see the later scene with him, with Stannis and Shireen, or him dealing with that. But it makes it hard to understand why Davos follows Stannis. Because Davos is a stand-up guy of the seven.
Yeah, kind of the voice of reason.
Voice of reason. It's just, it's one of those of, I mean, I get it. Stannis isn't entirely all in on this. You know, he pretty much is, but he's not openly all in on it. But even right before that, he was like, you know, you burned your family. You burned your brother-in-law. How many ships did he give you? How many, you know, people did he bring? How many more than you? You know, and it's like, so what the fuck? You know, so this scene right here, this is where it's like hashtag not my Stannis, even though this is the same. This is
Stannis.
This is Stannis. But
So-
there's a, like, that's why even book-wise I was iffy on the Stannis.
Confused.
Yeah.
Basically, Davos is kind of like the angel on
It's
his shoulder, and then
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Melisandre's the
devil.
devil.
The Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things. There's the conscience, good conscience, Jiminy Cricket, good angel thing that he knows that Stannis needs. And no one's going to do that for Stannis besides Davos.
Yeah.
And Davos is obligated, like he owes everything to Stannis. You know, so he takes that very, very seriously. And so with that is Davos's duty. Like he can't do anything else. And he's not one to go against his own oath of servitude, especially as being named Hand of the King. He takes it even more serious now. So I see where it's like he has to question it, and that's Davos's role. Is he starts questioning all of these things, and that is what he's there for Stannis. And I think Davos knows that he plays that role for Stannis, and that's kind of where he can take solace. It's like, I'm at least trying to make sure that these other fucktards don't ruin everything for Stannis.
Agreed. And I do agree with that. It's just one of those.
It's tough, though. I mean,
it's a
yeah.
tough scene because, I mean, I can understand if Stannis was going this way because his wife has drug him on, and he's like, okay, yeah, fine, you want to burn your brother, go ahead. But he was almost not joyous, but not upset by it.
He's cold.
I know.
If he thinks, I mean, if that's the information that he's getting, that this is what it's going to take, he doesn't back down. He's like Tom Petty. He's going to stand his ground.
What a great singer.
Terrible singer.
Mediocre songwriter.
I
I'll leave that alone.
I like Bailey. I'm not a huge Mel fan, but I will say this. I really have no idea how this scene fits in because there's two scenes and you only made one block, and that threw the shit off me. So anyways.
I thought I left a gap. Oh, no, after I went.
You just didn't write anything else.
I re-edited.
So whatever.
Whoops.
Mel's lipstick shade. What color is that, girl? Because that is one on-point color mauve. I need it.
I would have to look again. I don't remember.
Look it up.
Her lip on point. Very good. It's
Follow
mauve.
her on-
With Shireen?
I feel
Or
like we need
through
to go
the whole
watch it,
sequence?
guys.
No, not
the
with
dinner.
Shireen.
At the dinner?
Yep. When she's...
he's going to
Din-din.
pull that up.
When
Yeah,
his-
might as well.
My gosh, it's the best. Mm-hmm. Where do I get that? What counter I gotta go to?
Probably Kmart.
Yeah, it's at Kmart.
The Kmart down the road for me
It's
closed.
a Kmart special.
So never
Every
mind.
Those exist anymore?
Kmart closed.
I didn't know.
Pretty much.
Sorry, I live in a tiny
Well, you
town.
can't get it anymore. Sorry.
I have no more stores. It was good.
Melisandre bought them all up.
Mel, hit a girl up. We could be friends. I'd like you then.
Send me your lipstick.
Yeah, I need the shade.
Roloros.
Batch number.
I need that. I'll follow your cause.
I'll follow you
I
on
will
Twitter.
follow the Lord of Light if you share your lipstick. This is how you gain followers, people.
Yes. I just
Can
need to know what
advertise
color
on
that
the-
is.
on the
It's a good
lipsticks.
color. It's perfect.
Free
Sounds
lipstick
good.
to anyone who follows.
Me.
Maybe it's the Lord of Light.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
All right.
Anybody have anything else to add?
I'm ready for a Jojen train
Are you
expedition.
ready for a Jojen train? All aboard Jojen train. North of the wall, Hodor, Bran, Fort Sumter, Mira, and your boy Jojen on the train.
Jojen.
Bran is woken from his wolf dream and registers with weirwood.net. So, Abby, I think you're up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, we're getting Pocahontas here.
Jojen.
Grandmother Willow
Grandmother
speaking.
Willow.
Things are getting real. And
Bran's trying to paint with all the colors of the wind.
I know. And we got a lot of wind going on. There's a lot of colors. So at some point, I think it's Ned, guys. I think it's Ned. I don't know. But he says, look, and it might not be Ned. Might be Benjen. Not sure. Look for me beneath the... Aunt Abby, do you see the show I'm watching? So
Thanks, Griffin.
I don't know.
Clovis.
No, and I don't care.
He knew that Glenn was mad at me for making him change it back to minute
Do you want to know what he said?
13.41. So I didn't ask. Yes.
Do you want to know what it said?
Yes.
Look for me beneath the tree.
The
Is
tree.
what he says.
Them
Okay.
trees.
As he shows
Is what the voice says.
Okay. All right.
a werewolf tree.
The voice.
All right. All right.
Is what they say
And
on
then
the
on
he
the
voice.
says,
voice.
I know where we need to go.
Got it.
What image do it? I feel like we need to go to. Never mind. And I just let her dog. But,
It's a secret.
all right. Yep.
It's a secret to everyone.
All right, Bailey.
I feel like Mira is really giving Bran a chance to have a huge ego when she says, if we lose you, we lose everything. Like,
Hero
come
complex?
on, everything? Let's be real.
Everything ever.
Yeah, in fairness, your home's good. You can go home. Nobody's really gives a shit about, God, I'm blanking on
Grey
it.
Water Watch.
Yeah, Greywater. What's the area, though? That
The neck.
is it? No, there's a town that they're from. Like, the actual, it's Greywater Watch?
That's the name of the
I
castle.
think they just ride the train.
Okay. All right.
the neck.
All day,
Sorry,
every
but
day.
like you're from an area that nobody really cares about. You can go home. You're fine. The north's not coming that far down. South's not coming that far north. You're good. So, just saying. Selfish. Ben
Oh no, they
talking.
just can't find the castle.
they
They say it moves.
That's what I was
It's like
saying.
it's like the GPS when there's some places where it's just
It's like the GPS in the Everglades. There are no
Yeah.
landmarks. They fucking
right. Or
move.
they're like, you want to turn off the GPS
All I
here
see is
because you're not
mangroves.
going to find it. It's going to tell you to go somewhere else, and that's not where we're at.
That's not where. That's good for no one.
Okay, me.
Glennie, take it away.
He did to kill a king's dare. I mean, he dared to kill a king's deer.
If I was that close to a horse's wiener, I'd be more worried about being pissed on.
No, Dem Reeds warned Bran of working for too long. So I think it was interesting because Bran's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like,
I was eating.
I was eating, and they're like, "Well, it doesn't transfer." The proteins and the nutrients and stuff doesn't transfer.
Taste. No, you're
Summer
good.
was eating.
Right. I can see where Bran, like mentally, where he's like, I'm feeling full. When you're starving, and if you can even like imagine eating, it's gonna help you mentally a bit. Like whenever he comes back,
a-
he's still gonna be hungry,
Like
but
an everlasting
I can-
gobstopper or something.
exactly like that, Slugworth.
Or the
we are real fresh on Willy Wonka around here.
schnozberries. that
They
you,
taste like schnozberries.
I hate that movie.
My first thought is when he tapped into weirwood.net, you've got mail. Here's all the information you've missed.
Right.
And Bailey, I don't know how fresh you were to new on the show. Like, were you up to date when all this was coming out new, or are you later edition?
What's your Game of Thrones story?
Yeah, I mean-
I think by season 4, I was definitely up to date.
Okay. Because I remember when the trailer came out for this season and you saw the shot of the dragon silhouette flying over the town, everybody online was like, oh, shit, they're getting big. This is going to be good. And then this scene came and we're like, fuck you.
this is what it was.
Because
It was all
even in episode 1, we didn't see any of the dragons. No, the dragons were in episode 1, so we hadn't seen
So
the
we don't know what the time jump is on certain areas of our
Yeah,
story.
exactly. So we don't know where it's
So
coming,
you're
but you
telling
see
me
that
shit's
shot,
not
and you're like,
happening in season 4.
We saw the dragons in episode 1. They
Nope.
were wrestling. Yeah, we did. They wrestled over a piece of lamb before.
Yeah, the lamb chop.
okay, no, you're right,
the-
you're right.
The
But
podcast that never ends.
I just remember
podcast
that.
that never stops
Wait.
eating
Yeah.
lamb chops.
I just remember a lot of people like seeing that. They're like, "God, fuck!" I was so excited to see that,
This
and
is
it
the
was
song
just,
that never ends.
it was a
It goes on and on, my
flashback,
friends.
forward, whatever Weirwood fucking download. You know, it's like, damn it. But
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
True story, my lamb chop is at Mom's house. I'll
Yeah.
get it for
Oh,
you,
it's still
Glenn.
there.
oh yeah,
It's
Lamb
still
chop.
there. That's
We thought they have. Is it like a dog toy?
No,
No,
like
it's like a
my lamb
legitimate-
chop.
Okay,
Mhm.
'cause
stuffed
Puppet.
animal.
it's
We
been
had-
it's
Yeah.
been sewed together a few times.
No,
No,
that
that-
thing's
pristine.
never broken.
Oh.
Might be a little, maybe thrown through the washer once. It's to be perfect.
Okay.
well, because we like
all
bought
woodied up.
we bought a lamb chop dog
Toy
toy
Story 2.
for my dog Bear and my sister's dog Rambo, and they like it was like their favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
And so finally, like it got torn up, or
This was the toy that never ends.
and then like we ended up buying another one
There
because
you go.
You had to
You had to.
have you a puppet.
I still got my Muffy doll, so my Muffy mouse.
But do
if
you
anybody in the chat or
Duh.
listening, if you can name where Muffy the Rat is from, children's TV show, I will be very impressed if you tweet us.
FIFO?
Nope, I do have my Feifel still as well, but no, Muffy the mouse or / rat.
Okay.
You know, no
Fair.
cheating.
Fair game. I'll give you a sticker. And a cookie. No, just
He's
a
had his
sticker.
Fievel reference on here many times.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
he really?
Well, at least a secret weapon.
Police the secret weapon. Never say never.
So my only note on
it doesn't look
on
like a
this
good one, but- Sorry,
Weirwood scene is ooh, this is my shit right here. I love Weirwood stuff, man. He puts his hand on it and it just instantly
Ooh,
goes to the
that's
word,
my shit.
you know, eye thing, and
Clarence Carter.
he instantly ooh shit, Clarence Carter, and he instantly, you know, Undertaker eyes out, and I just love it, and it reminds me a lot of when they were in the House of the Undying and Dany is going through her visions and all of this. It's very much very similar stylistically, and
Well,
some of the
it walks
things,
through the same things on
some
it.
of the things are the same.
Yes.
Throne
Do you
room.
remember some of them that were the same?
and order
So-
the same stuff.
And they were the same stuff. at
Obviously, the
Applebee's.
throne room.
With what about the throne room?
You saw the chair.
It was snowing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I
That
caught
was-
that. I mean,
that's
Roof,
like the
roof
big-
was topped open.
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's the main one. That's
the
same.
one that I felt like we were like jumping through, like you said, stylized. I was like, hey, this is like Dany.
Yeah, it is, and we see Ned's face here. You know,
Yeah.
and we see him oiling up ice from episode 1, season 1. It's just all over the place, and I love when they do this stuff because it makes you see past, present, potentially future, and a lot of it's theoretical. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's, a lot of
like
it's
Scrooge.
you know, that's exactly what I was going for. It's Weirwood's
This is a
of Christmas
Scrooge-
past. Of Weirwood tree past. But it just makes me think of, like, you know, prophecies in general, and like back to Melisandre. I wonder if this is the kind of stuff that she sees. She sees these visions and doesn't know exactly what it's referencing if she doesn't have the context. But she's trying. So I just feel like there's some similarities there from looking into the flames and Bran looking into the Weirwood net.
I have a question. I don't want an answer to it. But from this scene and with Dany's scene, my thought is, like you said, it's like a prophecy. So yes, it can come true, but it doesn't have to, is how I feel about it. Like, these things are going to take place unless some other course of events, like, derail it or you choose not to choose.
It is a
Prophecies
classic Greek.
Yeah, prophecies only mean
Literature
something to
Yes.
the person who hears it or
So-
follows it.
Unless things like status quo isn't followed here, that's how we change it. You don't necessarily have to like make sure the roof stays on the throne room. So that's
You will buy Girl Scout cookies from my daughter, or else you will die.
Will lose a horrible death unless, of course, you pay.
Buy at least 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies for my daughter's cause. Anybody could be.
I wish that was a prophecy.
I would buy all the damn
Yeah,
cookies.
shit. My rule of thumb: first Girl Scout to offer, you're getting loaded up. You're getting at least
You're
the
going to
first
Washington,
one to
DC.
ask, and they have to personally ask me. Not
those 2.
well, no. If another girl gets to me first,
That's bullshit.
no.
It can't be the parent.
It
It's
is
gotta
known.
be the girl.
It is known. I've told both those girls. It is known. I've told both those girls. If you want, I will give you a windfall, but you have to be first.
Absolutely.
Victor goes to spoils.
I'm gonna tell Lorelai to call you tomorrow and say, "Hey, for next cookie season,
She-
how many boxes you want?"
She knows.
I'll put it in a Google Doc.
It's like
As a
that.
reminder.
Luke, you remember that Tim episode where that guy's selling Girl Scout cookies for his daughter, and he's like, "All right, douchebags, it's that time of year again. Time to buy Girl Scout cookies."
Yeah.
Life and
He's
times
like,
of Tim.
the Girl Scouts don't usually start their pitch off with, "All right, douchebags."
I got the girls
I mean, if it gets the job done.
I got the girls at Walmart. I'm like, sorry, I have 2 nieces, and I have to wait 6 months to actually pick
Walmart,
them
I think
up,
that's
but-
also where you can buy that lipstick.
Glenn knows these things.
Glenn, my
knows.
lipstick guru.
All right,
Alright, where are we?
We're
I
on.
think
Back
we're
on
going
track.
to Riddle's reviews shout out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That be me.
So-
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
Bailey, tell us a little bit about your book review website.
So I have a website that reviews books. You can check it out at riddlesreviews.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at riddlesreviews. And if you like books, it's a good place to start.
It is a good place to find a lot of books because how many books have you read this year alone?
Oh god, I don't even know. It's probably like at least 150.
That's
but
this year.
probably
That's
more.
Oh,
7 months
Christ.
into
Is
this
that
year.
is that a bookshelf behind you?
There are many bookshelves
Many
behind
old
me.
books.
I have a serious for reals question right now. Have you read Sharp Objects?
It is on my to be read shelf.
Girl, get it done tonight.
You have.
I
Right,
mean,
it is
I just
next
saw
on
the
my list. I
preview
kid
for
you
the show
not.
that
It
started 2 weeks
Just
ago.
move to the top.
I know. I'm getting on it this sometime soon of the show because we talked about that last week. So I'm going to do the show for, well, at least the first season. I'll probably read it. So
Just for you, Abby, it moved to the top of my to be read list.
Sharp
There you go.
Objects
Sharp Objects.
by
Yeah, it was
Gillian
Gillian
Flynn.
Flynn, whatever.
same guy that wrote,
Grandmaster Kath. Yeah,
Wrong
the-
girl.
that wrote.
The
Sure,
Grandmaster
it's a
Kath.
guy.
Yeah, exactly, Bailey.
It's
Thank
a
you.
girl.
Grandmaster
That's
Kath.
it.
We
It's
had
a
this
girl.
argument last week. You were already drunk.
We'll say it's a guy.
I was already drunk.
It's a joke.
I wasn't
Unconfirmed.
It's a joke.
Anyway, so check out Bailey's Riddles Reviews
We did.
website
I
at
was drunk. We had
riddlesreviews.com.
this argument.
That is correct.
That is correct, where you can find all sorts of book reviews and a lot more to come.
I mean, it's mostly young adult. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just started
that's
reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix online.
and Harry Potter and the University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix with a Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzelli.
Harry Potter and the Rosetta Stone. You're bilingual, Harry.
You're bilingual.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll let you put it. Whatever.
All right,
Alright,
let's
anyways.
take that Jojen train somewhere else.
Find us there next
Yeah.
April, and you
So-
can buy us a beer, and we'll buy you 2.
Oh, that wasn't updated.
Yeah. That's all right.
I told
Join
you.
us at Ice and FireCon.
Yeah. So I do want to give 'cause anybody that's actually trying to follow along with this, I did split this up a little odd in the first half where I know some stuff jumped around.
Good grief.
I'm just saying this is a long ass final fucking scene. Technically, all one final scene.
Best scene ever.
Well,
But-
do we cheers now or no?
No.
No, because I did cut it down to later
Final scene.
to an actual final scene. But
We could just, they're all final scenes at this point. just keep cheersing.
Champagne fountain.
And
Nice.
Abby's actually here to cheers.
Knights at the Round Table.
I'll cheers to that.
Click it.
Abigail.
She can't move. She
can't
broke her femur just by being alive. All right, Glenn, take us on a Jojen train. Where are we going?
Trojan King's
Trojan.
Landing. All aboard the wedding. Do you have something, Benji, you want to say real quick about that? Or no?
a dull affair by Dothraki standards.
A Dull Affair by Dothraki Standards.
Best wedding I've seen so far.
Giant, Baby, Pussy, Marjorie, High Septon, and the rest of the court. a cloak was draped and some words were said. I think Bailey is up.
With this kiss, I pledge my love. Does Joffrey even know what love is supposed to
That is love.
be?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Absolutely not. I have an essay on why not.
Why?
Because he is a sadist, a sadistic piece of shit, and cannot even comprehend love.
Oh, he knows what love is.
No, he doesn't.
He just loves
Sounds right.
pain
No.
and torture and
No.
evil fucking shit.
That's not what love
Well-
is.
But is
though.
that love?
That's not love. That's what gets
Yeah.
him off.
Love is in
That's
the eye of
his
the beholder.
motivator. No, that's his motivator.
No, that's
not-
just Joffrey's kink.
Yeah.
My only
Bailey's on here always.
my rebuttal is Forrest Gump had a low IQ and he knew what love was.
But Forrest was a nice person.
And he liked chocolate. So,
He knew what's up.
Well, he knew the comparison between a box of chocolates and life.
what other type of explanation do you need? I mean, I'm pretty much done there. There's no other philosophical talk I need to have. That's it.
Yeah.
Sums it up.
Yeah, this wedding's bullshit. And my note is it's good to see that Tommen or Cousin Lannister was rescued from the Stark camp.
Cousin Lannister.
Was
Did you-
cousin Lannister?
Did you recognize him? If you're looking for it, you would know it.
Yeah.
But
It's the same
so one of the Lannister cousins
The one that said, "Oh, you're here to
That-
help."
Oh,
us."
is this a
Karstark
Is this a rescue?
is now Tommen.
No.
I did think, like, wow, this child just, like, aged very much. Because he was small last time we saw him, right?
Mhm.
It was fairly small because I think we saw him maybe around.
But I didn't
about
catch the...
episode 3 or 4 last year, but
Puberty.
yeah.
Shoot, I didn't catch the hostages that they got to hold. Womp womp. I guess
Womp womp.
old Fred
Puberty sure was good to
released
Tommen.
them.
Yeah, puberty did him well.
Yeah, he was cute.
Is that a vote of confidence?
He kind of looks like Joffrey, though.
So
Well,
you-
Like-
they're brothers, okay? They were cousins, and now they're brothers.
And they're incestuous brothers at that point.
This family
born of
tree is so
incest.
confusing.
They are not incestuous brothers that we know of.
Incestuous
Let's-
brothers.
I mean, let's just
Okay.
be fair here.
Splitting hairs here.
I will say that when Sansa's like, "Oh, we have a new queen," and Tyrion looks at her and was like, "Better her than you."
Yeah.
It was so kind, like, and you can see, like we've said before, like Sansa kind of playing with him a little bit, or being not just.
Just being decent. Like,
They both are just decent to each other, but that I feel was more than even just decent on his part. That was kind and genuine. I was like, Tyrion.
and these are thoughts that she's had directly to Marjorie. I mean, just a couple episodes ago, they were like, she kept going on about when she was getting ready to get married to Tyrion, and Sansa was all upset about that, and Marjorie was like, well, he's not the worst Lannister. And Sansa was like, oh, look at me going on about, Tyrion, who's actually...
Oh
he's
yeah,
okay. He's
the Dr.
fine.
Seuss.
Yeah, exactly. And she...
Some like big guys, some like small guys.
exactly.
And we're all same height, horizontal.
If you have to get stuck with Tyrion, he's not the worst person to get stuck with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd get stuck with Tyrion. I'd be fine with that. I could make that work.
I mean, even if they don't, and this is a tangent, but even if they don't ever love each other, as long as they're both decent, they will just be decent. Like,
Yeah.
They will be decent.
For an arranged marriage,
yeah,
that's kind of like...
Well, and I mean,
the
Tyrion
best
gets rid
options.
of Shay. Like, he's a stand-up guy.
yep. For his wife,
He's like, I'm
And for
married. I
their
have to
future
get rid of my
kids.
whore now.
and for her well-being.
Yeah,
like,
she's
it
fit
just,
to bear.
And even in that scene with Shay, he's like, I had to do this to do it right by our kids, by mine and Sansa's kids, because
They are
they
eminent.
deserve that, and Sansa deserves that. And I'm sorry, the fuck out.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Ben.
Abby kind of just stole my entire note, so
Okay.
You're the worst.
but yeah, no, I agree. It was a very sweet scene.
I have the fucking same note, so I'm sorry I got called on first. Don't blame me.
Your note was big T that was sweet. Mine was
You have to say
nice
exactly
to see
that.
nice to see Tyrion and Sansa back to somewhat being cute. We have a new
living.
queen. better than her than you. So, but no,
Close enough.
Yeah, it was a very cute. No, very cute scene on that part. Joffrey playing up, whatever. I did like the camera shots that they chose.
Those were really interesting.
Very well done, and especially when what was being said was said. And I'll just kind of leave it there. But it is a very well shot scene.
The one that really stuck out to me was, it was kind of like, I'm going to use church terms, behind the altar view. Looking at Marjorie. You see Marjorie, and then it kind of the focus of the camera changes to the crowd on basically what was her front side and the left side of the aisle.
The bottom of the
Well, did that with Joffrey as well.
I guess
it started on
but
Joffrey.
Basically, it kind of focuses on those two, and then it focuses on the left side of the aisle, and it's like you see Oberyn Martell, you see Olenna Tyrell, all of these big name players, and then it focuses on the other side. You see Loras Tyrell, and it's just I thought that one was really interesting. It's like, wow, there's a lot of big fucking names here, as opposed to even Sansa and Tyrion's wedding, where it's like these are just a bunch of people in King's Landing, which they're around, but none of them are actually.
None of them. All right, where are we at, Luke?
My only note is, oh my god, that dress. Am I right?
OMG.
Almost, except for the mothballs at the bottom.
Right.
There was a bottom. Sorry.
The train.
I didn't even notice the bottom.
Didn't get that far. Didn't get that far. When it comes to Marge, sorry.
She's a cute little thing.
But the rest of it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I even kind of liked the mothball. She made them stylish.
She
Made 'em
can
look
make
good.
mothballs look good, folks. that was my only note.
That's a good
Did
note,
they
actually.
jack her up and everything? Say yes to the dress? I think they did. You wouldn't understand unless you watched that show. So just move on.
I will not admit that I watched that show.
You watch it with me.
But I mean, her hair though, right?
I'm going to call this out really quick. Alicia Kingston in the chat has a pretty good thought going back to the Tommen discussion. Tommen was an undercover when he got caught in the Rob's camp. Karstark didn't really kill him. He just escaped. Tommen is of a certain group. So can't really call that out at the moment.
Yeah.
So, but I'll buy it.
I liked
We'll
I liked that. AK solid.
Yeah.
Solid theory.
AK, they didn't finish the thought, so I'm just gonna go back and watch and see what you said.
Think of Jaqen Hagar.
I
Yeah.
like him.
Think about it.
So Tommen is a Jaqen style.
Tommen is a jackin.
Tommen is a Jaqen.
Tommen is a jackin.
Tommen, Jaqen, Ariakin. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now that that's all super clear.
What about the Moroccans?
Oh, we had problems with that at the end of season 3.
Let's not get back into that.
Let's not go there again,
Misa,
folks.
Misa.
Yeah.
You know that Misa lady?
Misa
I think I just killed her.
All right. I'm up to 3 predictions now. We're almost good to be finished with this episode.
All
Abby,
right.
did you have anything else to say besides Big T? That was sweet.
No, I took all of. I'm actually just gonna look through the notes here
And make sure that you take one of the 3 of our
Actually, I'm
notes.
good to go. I've just
Yeah,
taken
you
Just
all
start reading
veggies.
Bailey's notes. Just start reading Bailey's
There we
notes.
go.
They're not that great, promise you.
Mine are never.
Reasonable at best.
All right.
That's
It
fine.
was like 4 in the morning when I took my notes.
That's true.
Mine
It
was
was
like-
while we were live streaming Hogwarts Radio this morning
At 4 in the morning.
for
Accurate.
her in Pacific time. Yeah.
Oh. So I woke up at 4 in the morning.
I mean, it was 6 for me. I mean,
But why?
well, he was actually gone before I was on the live stream. I was like, Glenn's gonna wake up and realize I'm doing this thing that looks probably weird at 6 in the morning. I looked
My
outside.
alarm went off and I
His
was like,
car's
why am I up?
It's already gone.
Somebody's got to work around here.
You know? Lucky me.
Lucky.
Somebody's got to keep the
You're welcome,
fridge
Glenn.
full.
Sorry.
Anywho,
Hit. Let's move
next
on.
scene, Tywin Olenna. Talk of gratitude and debts. Tywin Lannister shit scold. He ain't scared of no bank.
I'm afraid no bed.
Benji.
No, Mace. Grown-ups are talking. He really is a fucking twat. As he comes running up, Mom, Mama.
Mace Stop, Stewie.
But he stops. He fucking just quiet. I'm talking to Tywin. Oh,
The adults are talking.
Exactly.
Luke doesn't have anything here, so
I don't
we'll
have
just
anything
skip
here.
him.
Yeah, please. I missed this scene. I didn't. I haven't
you
rewatched it. Yeah.
because Abby probably.
Yeah, way to go, Abs. Anyways, I just thought it was pretty awesome. Lady O says you should try something you enjoy before you die. Here we go. Tywin, try a little slice of Lady O. You would enjoy that. I know it.
Slice of O.
The whole realm would enjoy a slice of O and a slice of Tywin together to make a perfect
OT?
dead.
OT. So you go overtime.
TO.
I mean, they're both widowers. OT.
I
Overtime,
didn't even
baby.
know. I didn't even care.
Bam.
I did know that, actually. But it didn't matter at that point. They should just, hook up, shack up.
You think so?
I definitely,
All their
100%.
kids are getting married.
I don't
So
give a
why
shit.
not? Why not them?
They're
I
the
mean-
ones that only actually get shit done.
Just do it.
Just be like
Nike.
Nike. And just do it. Yes, they would be the best. So you have like kind of humanitarian, more like practicalness with the Lannister, like hard slicing truths or whatever you want to call them. If you could just merge those two together,
Yeah.
unstoppable. Maybe we could make Tywin more likable to the norms.
Well, and Diana's like, you can dance if you want to. You can be
You
Like
can leave your
friends
friends behind.
Yeah.
But if you don't dance.
But what happens when the decrepit bumps up against
This
the non-existent
non-existent.
Sure.
Elena line?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Tywin's packing though, so
I think
they can make that work.
Tywin has got it.
He's got it
He'd be
going on.
fine. He can dance.
I mean, he can gut a deer.
He can. Yeah, apparently. He made it look good on TV.
It's like one of those dating websites for like the old people or whatever.
Old people.
Ourtime.com.
Oldpeoplemeet.com. And that's MEAT.
Carbon dating.
I mean, if
Carbon
that's
dating
what you
dot-
need, go for it.
So we've always Glenn and I made the carbonating.com joke like as a geek thing, but I think it works for old people too. I think it almost works better for old
Carbon-
people.
Sure.
The carbon mating.
Carbon mating. Oh boy.
Hey, Ben, do you want to share some of that?
Absolutely.
Purple drink.
Purple
You
drink.
want to share some of that purple
Really
drink?
quick, what was the other one we thought? And if you can't think of it, we'll just move on. But
Carbon
there was another
dating.com.
like gem.
I'll find it.
Okay.
West Rosary retirement. Oh,
No.
I don't know. I know. I'm.
Bailey, do you have anything for this scene?
No, I mean, Benji kind of said exactly what I said.
Oh,
Way to go.
dick.
For this one.
Jeez.
In fairness,
Way to
my notes are
go.
actually on here.
Worse.
She doesn't have a note on there.
To be fair, he took his notes before I did.
Yeah. Yes.
He's a good student.
No, nobody else had done the notes for the entire show.
I mean, I was second. I wasn't
You were,
that far
yeah.
She
behind.
almost, our guest
I know.
almost did the
I know.
scene note
She
for
was
us.
like 3 scenes behind me the whole time. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I come up with how to describe the scene, but then I come up with my. Damn it, Bailey, you're catching up.
I gotta hit her off at the pass.
I hate that
Overachiever.
Okay, so we will move on to the next scene, which has Bronn, Tyrion, and Pod.
It's got Braun. It's got Tyrion.
It's got the Bronzes, the Tyrionses, the Podses. Bronn, Assure, Big T. Hashtag is aboard the Jojen train. Luke.
Bye, Felicia.
Felicia.
That's all I got. That's all I got. Bye, Felicia.
I wish I came up with that.
I just read the thing again. I didn't see this part of the episode today when I was watching through because I was setting up the stream shit.
Right.
But
That's
I
what
was
you
like, I
would
just looked at
probably-
the scene description. I was like, oh, yeah, bye, Felicia.
Sounds
Oh,
Sounds
about
right.
about
Bye,
right.
Felicia. So everyone tweet that now. Hashtag bye,
By
Felicia.
Felicia.
Yep.
On it.
Abby.
Oh, hi, I've missed Braun. That's my only thought.
That was. I think you said that the last time. That
I-
was a Bronn scene.
I'm memorized by him.
Mesmerized.
Yeah.
You're memorized.
You remember?
no.
You
I'm
remember him.
recognized right now, I guess.
Felicia.
Mesmerized. Memorized. I can't believe I just did
Mesmerized.
that.
I am
Can we just
so.
edit that
I am
out?
so. All right, everyone who's watching live, edit that in your brain.
Please keep that for the record.
I need
just-
a zapper.
Yeah, I wonder if
The
the
lighter click.
Yeah.
Everybody look at the video.
MIB
Gone.
deneuralizer.
The neuralizer, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just watched another movie with that in it, or a show.
Think of it later.
Incredibles 2.
Oh,
That's what it was.
spoilers. Fuck.
Don't feel so
I
bad.
haven't
And it was just a
I
neuro.
haven't
It was
seen
just a
Incredible
neuro.
Hulk.
It was just a neuralizer, not the deneuralizer.
I think it's actually just a neuralizer in MIB.
That's what
Tony
I'm saying.
gets zapped.
I don't know about. I don't know about that one. I'm saying neuralizer.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah. You said deneuralizer.
Neuralizer, deneuralizer.
I was wrong.
Neuralizer. Who gives a shit?
Hey, that's a first.
Bailey.
I say I'm wrong all the time.
We're
Go
gonna keep
drink
talking about
until you
neuralizers.
feel like you did the right thing.
Right.
That's how I feel quite often.
Right. Just drown the
drink.
sorrows.
Go convince yourself.
I
with
fully get
alcohol.
behind that advice.
That's a good movement to get it.
Yeah.
We could, as a show, I think we can support that.
Right.
I agree.
All right. I had nothing on this one. I mean, it was just like he just.
Yeah, me too.
He would just like, did you see her get on the boat, dude? Fuck off. I did my job.
Ron was so vague in this whole scene. He never said, "Yep, I saw her."
True.
But he's
But
also being like a
he-
bro.
Yeah, he's
being
like, dude, just
Dude.
chill.
get
cool,
your brain
dude.
off it.
Just get over it.
You know what I mean? Like you can't keep dwelling on it because if
Yeah.
you're just gonna go down that rabbit hole and just be still worrying about it. Like, get the fuck over it.
Yeah, dude.
Go get drunk so you can forget and not think about it. Like,
Let me just say this. Do you know
Dude.
this?
do I know
A
this?
bros know bros with no bros.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know
Sure.
what this is from?
No, I don't know what it's from. But
Teen
it makes
Titans
sense.
Go.
No.
It's my favorite episode ever. A bro is no bro with no bros.
All right then.
Boom.
Yeah.
The more you
Teen
know.
Titans.
Teen Titans.
Go.
Team Titans?
Team. No, teen.
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 Titans. Okay.
Titans Go.
I thought they were a team.
Young adult
that's
Titans.
like young DC
Yeah.
superheroes,
It's
right?
Robin.
So they're not a team though.
The mechanical guy that was in just the new fucking
Whatever.
DC
The
movie.
girls have to
That one guy.
walk up the mountaintop to be the bro, the ultimate bro. And they have to figure it out when they realize
Raven.
a bro is no bro without bros. So they do it together to give the bro fist pump. Bump. Yep. No. All right. There you go.
Yeah. I know Robin and Raven. I can't
Yep.
think of the other ones.
Whatever.
Which
Bros
It's a
are
very
right
bottom.
without bros.
Milfadile
Call me
Dundee.
Jon Snow.
The next line, the next line
Who's
over.
Jon Snow?
Cougar Life.
He knows nothing.
I know. I found a really cool shit that you
It's
said.
not. I don't think it's it.
I'm just gonna say this.
We'll figure it out.
I actually had just leave a picture, but
Okay, they're telling secrets over here, so we will move on.
Moving on.
Did anybody have anything else to add?
Can we take
No.
a Jojen train to the next scene?
we're going about 30 feet.
Elena,
Slow train. This doesn't go very far.
Sansa, Tyrion, Marjorie, Giant, Baby, Pussy.
It still gets me every fucking time.
Why?
And it's just so funny, and we can't use it after this episode.
No, we got one more.
We can reference.
We got one more.
We
We
can,
can reference
Giant Baby Pussy.
GBP.
Pour one out for Giant Baby Pussy.
No, don't.
I'm okay.
Or
I
not.
won't.
Anyways, Elena gives Sansa her condolences, and Marge and Joff promise some food to the poor. Abby.
Very good.
Abby.
They really want Sansa at Highgarden. Like, this is offer number 4 or 5 about going to Highgarden.
Get your ass to
They make
Highgarden.
another
Yeah.
offer here, like just
Maybe
for
your
us,
husband
like,
can,
for them to go as a
suggestion.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
maybe your
Yeah.
husband
Go
can sell a
visit.
mule now and
On
get you down
vacation.
to
You
Highgarden.
will like Highgarden.
Ride
Go
the-
see Highgarden.
Ride the duck boat.
Marry my
Ride the
brother.
duck
hey,
boat.
hey, that's too soon,
Too
assholes.
soon,
It's
Glenn.
too soon.
Edit that out for
I
real.
caught, yeah.
I thought it
I mean, even I know about that.
No shit.
way too soon.
My bad.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
All right, yeah.
my heart just. Sorry,
I didn't even catch it
Titanic
until. I
Too
didn't,
soon.
in fairness, I didn't catch it until you said
Okay.
something.
Too
So,
soon. Okay.
all right. Anyway, move on.
But, this is offer number 5 or 6 to go to Highgarden. Well, why do they want her there so bad?
Because it's beautiful, and
It
she
is
would like
beautiful.
it. Get her the fuck out of King's Landing.
But I want to know, do they want her there so they can control the North, or do they want her out because Lady Olenna and Marge are like, get this girl out
That's-
of King's Landing?
That's how I feel about
Yeah,
it. Like
but-
they just actually.
You know, what's his name?
Yeah.
asshole dude.
But
Microfinger says right off, don't trust me, and then I trusted him and I was wrong. So,
Yeah.
you know,
idiot.
Now,
you dummy.
now with
But
that,
all I'm
It's all your
saying
fault.
is, like, I feel like they want her there so badly.
Because if something would have happened to Tyrion and she was in Highgarden, that's
Yes.
real easy to make that next move.
but also Tyrion
Are
they-
there
is a
ulterior
known
motives?
friend, or is a known, not accomplice, but able to be worked with. Now Tyrion
With Lady Olenna.
with a Lady Olenna, like they can, like that meeting they had about the wedding. Neither one of them got what they wanted, but they got what needed to be done. They made a compromise. They were able to work together. So I think she'd be fine with bringing Tyrion down to Highgarden as well, because then maybe he could
Come
use
on
his
down.
influence.
I think that's not wrong, because I think Lady Olenna is smart enough to see that Tyrion, although a Lannister and is going to back, Tyrion is not Tywin and he is not Cersei. They're dealing with a different beast.
Yes,
A reasonable beast.
exactly. So I mean, I think it's a dual-edged sword of they care about Sansa, they want her to come down, but they also want their connection to the Lannisters tied up where they have access.
Okay. Bailey.
I mean, do we really think that Joffrey came up with the idea to give the food to the poor all on his own?
He was gonna be out giving the food to everyone himself. He was gonna go stand right out there, just and yes, I'm saying yes. It was. I'm not saying it was his idea, but he was
100%
being
his idea.
virtuous to his people by his own free will.
Sure thing.
Hence the sarcasm.
I
think
don't
For
buy
the
that
kids at
for a
home, if you
minute.
can't tell,
I think I
he
landed
is
on
being
thick enough.
sarcastic.
So,
So
we know where this is.
where this is going.
Do go on. We know where this is going, so I'm going to reference that end scene to this scene. We know he dies in this episode. Sorry, spoilers. But
Breaking the fourth wall, man.
Like clearly he's pretty pussy whipped on a lot of things already, at least politically. Am I wrong on this? Like
I
he
think
does her what she wants
I
pretty
don't
easily.
know.
Because she's played. I mean,
Wouldn't
she's
you,
played
though?
played
I
it perfectly.
think she is showing him a side of it. Like, this is like the ulterior motive behind it, not necessarily.
It's still
like,
productive
I
and
want you-
positive.
Yes, I want you to go do this, so you're going to do it.
Do it.
I think she shows him kind of like,
Do it.
if you kind of stroke their
And
backs.
maybe the pussy whip comment was a little heavy-handed,
you
but
scratch,
I don't
you
ever-
scratch my back and I'll scratch
I
your
don't
back.
ever want to like justify for him, but I don't.
my point being, if he doesn't die here, and maybe that's more of a speculation that we can get into later, but like, does that continue? Like, does she start shaping him more and more and more until where he actually potentially isn't so terrible because she has him on a leash?
See, I don't not on a personal level, like to the Tyrion stuff, to the general public. Yes, she makes him 100 times better in the long run. To the council and the close court, no, he can still go on and do whatever the fuck he wants. She knows it's the
Until-
overall
until she
image.
pushes him
Yeah, but
too far and he turns on
I think
her.
Yes.
I think
you're right.
Cersei kind of realizes that she has a big influence on him, or is gaining a big influence on him, to where that's why she's worried. I think, and
Well, Cersei's worried about losing her power. That's
that too. Yeah, but you can see like the tides a turning.
The tides, they are changing.
which kind of tie into I
The
think the next
tide pods
scene.
are
if my
Yeah,
eyes
this
wanna-
was just like a random thought that I had
Tripods.
like for the first time
Don't
right
eat
now.
those.
So
Yeah.
Too soon.
let's go ahead and
Too many dedicated.
Glennie, keep it
You
going.
want me to keep it going?
Well, I mean, you're hosting.
I mean, I'm
And
hosting.
you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Oh, and shout out to I had the band's name and I didn't the musicians in that scene. They actually
Oh no,
they're an Icelandic band. Something Rose, I want to say.
they were the guys that were, I guess, playing with the Brains of Castamere.
Yeah, and one of them actually got pelted with
Yeah,
a
'cause he-
coin.
They
Like
threw the coins at him.
yeah, well, like the actual actor got pelted with a coin like
Oh,
to the
really?
face, like or
Yeah.
the singer.
And
or
it hurt.
What? Yeah, it was like
hurt.
It was like shit.
So, my thought about this scene, Marjorie McLaughlin, for just 25 cents a week, you can feed the poor.
and save a kicked dog.
And the in the arms of the stranger.
In the arms of the stranger.
Far away from here.
Like north of the wall.
All
Take
right.
it away, guys.
Yeah,
Start
Okay.
harmonizing, please.
All right. Let's get back on track.
On the Jojen
On
train.
the Jojen train, which is a track, 'cause it's a
Okay.
train.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind.
Sir Loris, Sir Jamie. I guess I'll go. Loris gets the last dig at this point.
And neither will you. yeah. That was my only note with it. It was a quick scene between the two, where Jamie was like, you're never, if you marry her, she will kill you in your sleep, and if you actually get her pregnant, she will kill the children. So it's just like Jamie's trying to playing the big dog again.
Yeah.
To a lesser person, and Loris is just like, yeah, neither will you. He just in there taking it basically until he's like, yeah, fuck off.
That's funny because I don't look at it as. I guess it is big dog, but at the same time, really
Big dog and
Amy's being like, this isn't gonna be good for you, bud.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it's bad for you because of me.
True,
it's bad
but-
for you because of Cersei.
true,
Right.
but he's looking out for her more so. It's 95% Cersei protection,
Well, this wedding
5%.
isn't happening anyways. Cersei's already said so. It is known.
It is no.
It is no.
no. Yeah, but the way
I
I mean,
know.
no spoilers.
the way I saw it was that Jamie was just saying that, and I think Loris thought that it's because Jamie wants Cersei.
Yeah,
Sure, okay.
yeah. I
So maybe-
completely agree.
It's like, oh, I'm trying to save you, but
Like
the
Jamie
same-
was trying to be altruistic to a point, I guess, where you're coming from. Of
That's my girl.
And
But-
again, I didn't.
but
I haven't
Loris-
rewatched this just right
Yeah.
before we did this, so I'm going off of. I'm
Yeah.
If-
also
if anyone-
devil's advocate.
If anyone's gonna make love to my sister, it's gonna be me.
it's gonna be me. It's not me.
Jasper.
No. Jasper. That's
Tyrone Biggums,
yeah.
or no. Was it?
Tyrone Biggums. That's
is
the
it
that's
Leroy?
the black white supremacist, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
referencing. Yep. All right. Anybody else have anything else?
Nope. Two
That's all I got.
two bros.
Nobody
just
had anything.
broing out.
Okay. Brienne, Marjorie, Cersei, Giant, Baby, Pussy, Gran, Maester, Pussy,
Hey, he was trying to get some Grand Maester pussy.
Grand Maester
Yeah,
trying to get some pussy. Brienne gives her congratulations, and Cersei gives her thanks, and orders the Maester to have the food given to the dogs. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, who was up? Benji, I think.
I'll start with this. I feel bad about this note, but I just had to put it out there. You can never really tell how big Brienne is, like the actress Gwendolyn Christie. I never really realized this. She's 6'3". Most of the time, because she's next to like Jamie, who's relative height, but in the scene with Cersei, who's only 5'5", and you realize that's a big bitch. I mean, like it's kind of one of those. It's like
Yeah.
even Catelyn Stark, who I think I didn't look up her height, but she's a taller person, or at least was in lifts or
last
heels.
episode when she was walking around with Marjorie, I mean Marjorie's 5'6". I mean,
Yeah.
That's tall.
Typically, like in other actresses, she has looked tall, like
Marjorie.
comparatively.
Yeah.
And so, like, then you see her just being dwarfed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I guess I just overlooked it, but this one
Yeah.
with her and Lena Headey, I was like, damn, okay, and
Yeah.
but like
Cersei looks up to Brienne.
Lena Headey.
Headey.
Lena Headey is what I had.
So basically,
I always read. That's
But
how I always
her
read the
hair is
name.
Awesome. Like now that it's like all like washed,
Oh yeah,
her hair looks great.
right,
Brian. Oh yeah,
Brian, yeah.
and both gorgeous.
right. Yeah, Brian could definitely play for the St. Louis Surge.
Was that the women's football team?
No, the women's basketball team.
Okay, yeah.
They've won like national championships or something like that.
And no
The
one
past
ever
like
got it.
3 or 4 years.
and no one
Right,
knows
they're
about it.
complete badass motherfuckers.
And
We
now
got
that's-
fundamentals.
That's disappointing.
Yes.
Right.
No, agreed.
More than Glenn should know about this
Yes.
in this room.
Yes.
There's a billboard on 270, I think.
I don't drive anywhere.
Oh, really?
That's not true at all.
What is driving?
He doesn't drive.
I have like
He
a
has
3 mile. I have like a
that for
4 mile radius
That'd
from
be
my house.
us.
That's all I drive, pretty much. So
I
Yes, sir.
wish.
They play at I think they play at WashU.
Yeah.
They used
Washington
to play at
University in St.
UMSL.
Louis.
That's how I found out about them.
Gotcha.
I was going to UMSL at the time. They played there. Now they're playing at WashU
Because they're championships.
because they
Year
champions.
back to back to back
back to back to back national champions.
Dang. Hey, Ray Charles, get in this shit. Come on.
Luke's
Jesus.
wearing some Ray Charles esque glasses here.
I think
Thanks
those
for
are
the
my
shit.
glasses.
All right. So I said my
Oh.
Rocking it.
I don't even know.
Luke, you're up.
So at the end of
If you can see.
I can't see
Right.
anymore. One thing, so I'm gonna take these off. So GMP is in this scene. Does he do something real squirrely Danish? Like,
I mean, he was rubbing up on the serving girl.
yeah. So there's
Back
a
her
cut
into
scene.
a corner.
There's a cut scene from season 2, I think, where it talks about like it's Tywin fishing and GMP walks
Yes.
up to him and he's like, "Why do you keep putting on this act of like being totally old?"
Yeah,
I just think it's so. That's a really good scene.
that
So
should have been
definitely-
left in.
definitely check
It
out
was
that
season
deleted
3
scene.
because it was when Tywin was back in.
Yeah, it
So-
was early. It was
Yeah.
from an early season 3.
But yeah,
But
He asked too why he was acting so old.
GMP,
GMP
Pycelle.
because you've seen the scene of him with the right after the horror leaves in season
and he
2.
like does like
Yes.
like calisthenics and
Yeah,
he's
and
just,
he's
like,
fine.
super
He can
fit.
walk.
That was,
And then
that
he-
ended up being Roz, I think.
It was
yeah,
Roz.
that was the Roz scene.
I would
Yes.
And
She
no
would
one
she
does-
wouldn't
So-
know because she doesn't know what she looks like.
I do now that she's.
So she's
Now that she's
Wow.
dead.
she gone.
And I was like,
Too
dead.
s- too
Is
soon.
She dead? She dead. Yeah. So Tywin asks him here.
No.
No.
There was a deleted scene
Okay,
in
this
season
is-
3
I was like, I missed
that
something.
that I think plays into this, where Tywin's like, "Why do you keep up this act of being really old? You know,
Yeah.
like way older than you actually are." And it's just interesting because, like, in that scene, Pycelle like stands up, talks fucking normal.
What's his reasoning? Does
Like
he give a
Maester
reasoning?
Maester
Basically-
Aemon old.
Right, he's acting Maester Aemon
Because
old.
it gives him more.
Prestige
More-
and like people don't
More vulnerability.
yes people
They don't
don't
mess
question
with him,
him as
question
much,
him.
and he's less
He's-
of a
he's more-
less of a threat.
He's
and-
wise because he's so old.
I have another question.
but I'm glad that they've added, and this is a true thing from the books, which is really subtle in the books if you don't know about it. And I think the show put a lot more of a spotlight on this in the books for a lot of people of how much diddling Pycelle does of young girls
Okay.
in the books. Like it's really there's a scene where Sansa, it's like
Is diddled.
yeah, Pycelle touched her all over, and it's
Shows-
like it's like a real
shows
quick
on the doll where-
line,
where-
but if
where
you're
you
not
touched
thinking
it.
about it, you wouldn't notice
It's
it.
just like
And I'm glad the show has been like, yeah, no, he's a fucking creep, and just kind of put that to 10, you know, in side scenes that you just wouldn't get in the book necessarily. But my real note here, do you have a thought on that, Ab?
my only thought is one, I'm going to jump on Benji's mic so I can type to all you people in chat, and two, I have a question about the fact that it's real important here. Joe would like to know if he could borrow some ankle socks.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. All right. No other thoughts.
Okay, yes. Yes, not your average Joe can
Yes.
borrow some ankle socks from Luca Ferocious. That is now an official Drinks and Knows thing, and that will live forever on audio. But at the end of this, you know, Cersei is talking to Brienne, and she's like, "Do you love him?" You know, because clearly she's like, she plays the card of like thanking her for like getting him back, and kind of like that PC political card. And then at the end of it, I think she kind of gets the gist of, okay, he's pretty easy to fall for, and if she knows anything about Brienne, she's someone that falls for the right person. You know, like well, she picks a person
Could
and
you
falls.
Could
Because
you
she calls
learn
that.
to love him?
Because she calls that out too. She's like, So you went from
You see me
supporting
you know
Renly
me,
to
you love
supporting
me.
Catelyn Stark
I'm
to
alright.
following my brother.
I'm okay.
And all that, and even she calls it, or Brienne calls it out. She's like, "Well, he saved me more than once," and then there you can see a loving glint in her eye.
At least like a mutual respect that could easily be.
And I go back,
Exposed
and I go
as-
back to the brother sister love. Like, she loves him like a brother, kind of. Yes, and when she and that's the thing when Cersei asks that, that's
definitely loves her like a sister.
like he should love a sister. That's where I'm going with.
So.
We're not gonna delve into all this.
Because you guys know and I don't.
No.
At
It's
least-
no.
Oh.
This is a whole.
Bailey!
Oh, we just got told to fuck off by our guest.
She left us.
Well,
This is a
let's
bad
do this until she gets back.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. So, but there's a whole speculations. Hey, hi, Bailey.
She's back.
and she's back. So
From out
I
of
died
Yeah.
for a second.
yeah, there's all speculations and everything of Jamie, Brienne, shippers. I stick by it's a loving brother sister, what a brother sister should be, and that's when Cersei asks him, "You love him." Brienne pauses and hesitates and doesn't answer because she's like, "I do, but as a brother, as somebody I care about." But I don't think Brienne really looks at him sexually at all.
Really?
Jamie might.
I look at Jamie sexually. It's a good-looking guy.
That's
Yeah.
very good look. I'm going to recant my
That's a good
statement.
hand.
God,
Okay.
that
Look at
golden
that
hand,
hand.
baby.
So I made
oh
some
yeah, baby.
unfortunate statements early on in this recording of this podcast. Where I was like, Jamie's just the grime. He's dirty. You don't touch that.
Now,
He's not so grimy.
once he takes a bath, he
He's
cleans.
taking
He
a
cleans up
bath?
pretty good.
I've seen a little more
But
cleanliness out
I'm
of him.
sticking by my theory of it's a mutual platonic love. Is the best I can put it.
They drink, they eat plutonium together.
I don't think somebody that saves your life, not even just like, oh, here, let me help you out as we're going out together, but turns around and saves your life, you just think about them platonically forever. Like, it can turn into that. You find somebody else,
Like
like,
they'll
yes.
go on a picnic together or something like that.
Yeah, like, hey, bro, thanks for saving my life.
Thanks
Like,
for cutting up my
Maybe
meat.
not
'cause
necessarily like romantic at this point.
But at some point, she's sucking dick. That's it. Like, that's the bottom line. I'm sorry.
At some point, she's sucking dick.
I am
You
glad.
Took me a second to realize that you actually said that.
I'm sorry. You saved me from a bear in a fucking arena.
Yeah, but she saved. I mean,
Fine.
okay, I can say straight up too. You know what?
That's what it takes.
Point,
So
you're
what-
sucking dick.
You saved me
Is
from
that
fucking drowning in a
Is that
fucking
before,
bath.
during, or after the picnic?
Boys eating some carpet.
Feed me first, you know?
Feed me and I'll blow ya.
All right.
Just have to get a
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, what the?
Oh,
did-
that
Yeah,
wasn't supposed to happen.
you
I
literally just said bye,
Was, I
Felicia.
was talking to
That's-
Terrence, who's heading out of the
It's
chat.
that.
And then you cut
I
her
didn't-
off.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I did nothing to Bailey.
I did nothing to you.
Oh, that was
There
weird.
she
Okay,
is.
so
Alright.
so Bailey, any thoughts? I know we're rambling here, and so
I mean, that about covers exactly what I was thinking.
Sorry.
At some point, she's
Hard truths over
she's
here.
sucking dick.
Glenn, write this shit. Write this shit. Get us on track.
Abby, that's all you have to say.
Just
That's
sucking
all
dick
I
as
have
you
to
said
say
me from a
about that.
bear.
Sucking
Yeah,
dick.
sure.
Bailey, you have anything else to add? Or?
Nope, I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean that's similar to what I put to. I didn't
You have
maybe
the
go
same
into depth
feeling?
about sucking dick or anything like that. I was just saying Brienne is kind of on the radar now, as a threat to Cersei's man, I guess.
She doesn't want him. Why the
yeah,
fuck does
she's
she
already said you were too
care?
late.
You
You took too
you
long.
left me.
Yeah,
Don't
but-
forget that Cersei is the worst. Like
Why the hell does she care?
because she can't. She will not let it go. Jamie
said,
is
but
her
it's
property.
like the
Yeah, as I
Hey,
said,
hey,
Miranda
she doesn't
jealousy.
want it.
Miranda's
No one
the
else
crazy
can.
ex-girlfriend. Cersei's the crazy ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That
Did you say Brienne's a crazy
I
ex-girlfriend?
said Miranda.
Oh,
As-
sorry, I was
call back to
girl
earlier.
from girl from show is the craziest.
New girl from show.
The new girl.
New girl from show. Actually, no. Miranda is a book character. So
Miranda.
all right.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Sorry. That took a turn.
Okay,
that definitely took a turn.
let's just go to the next scene.
Let's go to the next scene.
How about that?
Jojen train. Instant
Jojen
train.
Jojen
Hyperloop.
Trainman, Cersei, Tywin, Obi, Hilaria,
I just didn't feel like typing it all out.
Oberyn. Talk of gout, crowns, and the pleasantness of child murder and rape. Bailey, why don't you leave this one off?
Please save us.
I mean, child murder and rape is so fucking pleasant, right?
It is.
In King's Landing, anything goes.
You betcha. In other places, the rape and murder of children is considered distasteful, and that's all I have to say about this.
I love Oberyn Martell. Like, he's just
He's a good guy.
so cutting on the way he, like, gets right to the point of, this is why I'm here.
He gets it.
He is the male equivalent of Cersei.
Say his name again.
Oberyn Martell.
Not Obi.
Oberyn.
Yeah, Oberyn. Yeah, sorry.
Oberyn.
I should because that's the first time
Prince
he's been
of
mentioned. Yeah, our first time I typed him in.
I
so
have
yeah.
lots of questions about this. It's really shitty that our recording's going long.
Well,
'cause-
you weren't here for our episode 1 with
Yesterday.
the introduction
Yep.
of
Yeah.
Oberyn Martell.
Yep. So, pause. Let me get this straight. Oberyn Martell
pause.
is Rhaegar's wife's brother.
Yes,
Yes.
Rhaegar's brother-in-law. Yep.
Okay.
Second
and
brother, like
So there's
younger.
an older brother,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
him, and the older brother is the Lord
The
or whatever.
the
the-
warden
Sure.
of
The
Dorne,
guy.
whatever.
Great.
Yeah.
He's the
He's also a prince of Dorne.
head honcho.
His name is Doran.
He was supposed to come to the wedding, but he didn't.
because he has gout.
Whatever.
He has a bad
Bullshit
case
lie.
of the
Got it.
gout.
Rich man's disease.
I
Got
don't
it,
know what
okay.
the chicken pot pies are made
Just
of.
kind of like, you know.
The
But
struggle.
everything's magical
So
down here.
he
in the
comes in.
Lunch lady land.
I'm just trying to make.
Let's just still go through this whole fucking
It's
song.
fine. I'm just trying to make sure I'm tracking
Yeah,
correctly.
no, you're
Yes.
you're on it.
and
You're
he's mad that
Elia Martell, who is Rhaegar's wife,
was raped apparently by the mountain.
raped and murdered,
By the mountain.
and their
And-
children.
And their children suckling from her breast. Whatever. All right,
Sure.
cool. Good to go.
Yep, and he is going after basically whoever killed her and who gave the order,
yes,
Which would be Tywin.
is what he believes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up to speed.
Up to
All right.
speed.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Oberyn probably like dreamed of having this conversation with Tywin, like
In his
basically his whole life since preceding like that whole rape and murder and and all that jazz. He probably like just dreamed of having this conversation with Tywin, and then Cersei being there was just like an added bonus. I think.
Yeah, and then he got to
Why
put
is
it.
Cersei being there was an added bonus?
Well,
I'm
because
sorry.
she's a
Just
cunt.
another like
Oh,
at
okay.
this point, he's only talked to like Tyrion as a representative for the Lannister family, and I think he knows that Tyrion's. I mean, he just kind of gets shit on or whatever as being a a dwarf or whatever.
Yeah, and I do like with it where he's like, oh, Queen Regent. Oh, I'm sorry, former Queen Regent, Ilaria. This is Lady Cersei. It's like,
Oh yeah, it was like a good dig.
oh yeah,
Definitely
just
the best
good
part.
that crown you wear must contort the neck, make it crick and crink. But now you don't have to do that. Those quick little jabs and everything, and even with the gout line from from Tywin, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm sure your brother will get over the gout." Yeah, we know it as the rich man's disease. I'm surprised you don't have it. It's 'cause you're the richest fucking man in the country.
Yeah.
All
you
this
should
shit.
have gout by now.
Yeah, exactly.
What, do we have like Google Maps going on here?
Yeah, turn that shit off.
Sorry, Google. Fuck off.
God damn it. We got a show, peeps.
Fuck off, Alexa.
Turn left now. I'm
Um,
sitting.
Luke, while you're distracting everyone, why don't go ahead and say your
it's
fucking
nice to see
thing?
that the pleasantries were at least met. In this conversation, they keep it moving and PC in a productive way.
Yeah.
I feel like this is not the first time I have said like that type of politics or PC or
Keeping
smiling,
your face.
keeping the face. That
I
is a
fucking hate
skill
it.
I will never have. I'm really
I am
sorry.
a Ned Stark.
I will lose
I
my
don't
mind.
like this.
The kid that blurted out, "Pussy, you're a fucking pussy" at the pool today. There was no PC about me. I turned around and I told him, straight up, Southern as I could come, I think you should watch your mouth, honey. And he said, what the fuck did you say to me? And I said, look at me. I know you've never seen a fucking pussy before in my life. I'm going to bet my fucking all my money on it. You want me to follow your home to your mama's house? And he looked at me. I said, because I fucking will. My kids don't need to learn that word today.
You went country grammar on his ass.
No, it's not even that. It's like, I kids couldn't even take it. This poor little kids. Anyways, this is a skill I wish I had. I wish I could just turn the other cheek.
But at least you don't make idle threats.
I did never.
Sure.
I will never.
Because you would have followed that kid home to his mama's house.
Yeah.
Crutches and all.
See, I
Here,
fall
slow
into this
down.
aspect of the passive aggressive, like, okay, yeah, sure.
I just
I
can't.
will absolutely do that for you, customer. I'll be there at 4 p.m. when we said you'd be there at 11, but then I show up at 9:30. Oh, you're home. Hey, how about I do that job for you now? Very.
You're the worst.
I am not passive aggressive.
I'm very passive aggressive.
Directly aggressive.
To the point, yes.
Aggressive or not. You choose.
You choose.
I can't take it.
Okay, are we done with that?
Yeah,
Sure.
sorry, Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Over it, Markel.
Over it.
Glenn, do
You
you have a
Martell, thanks.
Overlooked.
do you have a
Martell.
thought on this scene, or
Or
did
not
you already
already a
did you already
title.
put yours out there?
I already said my
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
We are gonna move to the final scene.
Final scene.
Cheers it up.
These are the worst cheersing cans
Hey,
ever. Cheers to Bailey.
Bailey,
Get your
cheers.
vote. There you go.
But
Blue-
we need
blue
the
wine.
we need the box up for the
I'm
cheers.
still like dumbfounded by her cup. I don't understand.
She's
Don't
drinking-
It's
Okay.
a stemless wine.
It's-
glass.
Blueberry wine, I think.
No, it's not blue. It's just regular wine. It's, the
paint.
cup.
Is
Abby,
that
Abby,
blue?
it's painted from here to here.
She's
No.
drinking paint.
Yeah, Abby, it's painted from here to here.
And she keeps turning it. And I'm just so drunk. It looks amazing.
Bob Ross wine.
Happy little
I
clouds.
need no fucking
Happy
birds.
little
We got it.
wine.
We got it. We got birds. Understood.
All right, tell us about this final scene.
This final scene, we got giant baby pussy, Marjorie, Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei, Tywin, Mace, Olenna, Loras, Tommen, Jaime, Varys, dwarfs, and the court.
All
Dwarfs.
of King's
I tried to get
Landing is there.
try to get all of them in, like every named character in. At least I saw.
Just to give Glenn his moment.
Yeah,
My
We're talking about GVP. Marjorie Tyrell.
Tyrion, Sansa, Cersei.
Okay. The War of the Five Kings. Tyrion is challenged by baby pussy, and it turns back on him as he explains that the War of the Five Kings, the Dwarf War, was kind of a poor reenactment of Joffrey's own bravery on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was painful to watch. I mean, for
Right.
us and for everyone
Else.
actually in there watching it. Like you get like
apart from who?
Joffrey.
Cersei.
well, Cersei,
Yeah.
Cersei and Joffrey were the
I
two
don't
that
think
I
it's
Dem-
not
liked.
Dem
painful for
Lannisters.
Cersei.
Tywin was chuckling too, or at least
No.
yes. Oh, but
okay,
He
here's-
there was a scene where he
You're
chuckled.
right.
he
But
was
I-
grinning the whole time. Those three.
Put on a
I think
face a
you're
little bit,
reading it
though.
wrong
How
because
about
I
a
feel
face
like
on it?
How about this?
Cersei is doing that nervous laugh. Like that nervous,
Like,
like,
no.
oh,
Put the face
you're
on.
so cute.
Fair- then that could be.
And
But I think
Definitely. I
Tywin
fucking
is,
enjoy this.
this is the first time Tywin's grinned. Like Tywin sat there with a fucking grin
I
on his
took
face.
it as like a
Because he-
backhanded grin though, like a Oh my god.
But Tywin doesn't do that. He doesn't give a shit what people are thinking. And so that
He
that's-
doesn't care what people
He
think.
absolutely
That's
cares.
all that matters is what people
That's
think of the
it.
family. That's the only thing.
Joffrey just made a
That's the only thing.
circus
when it comes to
of
this
his
kind of stuff, he
family.
doesn't give a fuck.
No.
No, he does because he cannot go against what Joffrey is so adamantly all for. It's the same thing that he can't stand up when Joffrey
You know what's
is doing something
amazing?
against Tyrion in such a public
This
thing. He has to just
show
Okay.
smile and
We
let it
have
happen.
All right.
absolutely
Yeah, I mean, I'm-
two different
I will.
feelings about this.
Right?
I will defer that.
And I can't discount the way you feel because I can see it being like that.
You know, but I see, I see it as, Tywin's like, he and he's not laughing. He's like, Cersei has more of a, Joffrey's doing his big old bold,
Look at how great I am.
Cersei's like, because she's thinking, this is pissing Tyrion off. And Tywin's like, this is showing my accomplishment. Even though it might be Joffrey taking the,
I see it as Tyrion or Tywin seeing this is showing my ass.
All right, can we take a timeout real quick? Let's have Bailey tell her no, because I guess we're pretty much saying it right now.
yeah.
Go ahead and Bailey say your piece. Or
Bail us out.
I mean,
Bales.
just everyone's faces as they're trying to sit through this is priceless. And then Marjorie's side-eyed to Joffrey as the whole thing goes on.
Oh yes, what a wife. She wifed right there. That's it.
She mom looked
She's
without
like,
the
well,
mom.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm definitely going to give you a look.
I will
Yeah.
definitely kill you with my eyeballs right now. It's
How about Loris's reaction to all this?
Well,
He
that-
couldn't
well,
even.
he walks away. Yeah.
right.
yeah.
I
And
mean, because it's literally him specifically being made fun of with Renly's, right? I
yeah,
mean,
because like,
and everyone knows that.
I know.
and I never caught that until
Really?
literally this watch through. I mean, I always saw him walking through, but I never paid that much attention. You have Stannis writing the Red Woman. You have Renly writing Loris.
I
It's
didn't
fucking.
catch Stannis riding the Red Woman.
Yeah.
I didn't
think
catch that.
Renly writing Loris was like added by one of the directors or somebody just to like know who Renly was or something.
Yeah.
So like the kids at home would realize that was
I
Renly.
would-
And I'm not
say-
gonna lie, I like this adaptation better than the dwarves in the book. Because there is a dwarves jousting scene in the book.
This is
This is
a
that.
good show at a change.
I
And
like this, yeah, to piss Tyrion off, but also to piss everyone else off.
It's good.
I like this, because it shows how much of a cunt Joffrey
It
really is.
It really
it's cutting for
drives it home.
everyone
Yeah.
in the room.
Yeah.
It's not just Stannis. It's not just Renly. It's not just Robb Stark. There are so many people in
So,
this room or
my
in this area
first
that are
point-
directly aligned with these people that are being put on blast.
My first point on this whole thing, and then it just kept going, and we'll keep going here, was the first scene of them battling leads me to believe that they think that Stannis is no threat. Like, he has been defeated. That is
Pretty
how
much
this...
because of the Blackwater, Stannis
Yeah.
was defeated.
But
in their
Stannis
mind-
is not defeated at this point.
To the common folk and to
not
the
dead.
lower court, he is.
Right. Like, I hadn't realized that part of it until now. Like, watching this reenactment of how Joffrey became the king of the five, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they think he's down and out. Like, he's just regrouping. This is a rebuilding year for him. Like, that's it.
Yeah, but are you going to do that?
But in fairness,
War
he
of the-
is the most victorious.
right. I think he put this whole thing on. He's going to make sure that he
Well,
wins
he
in
looks-
this little dwarf battle.
But I just wondered, like, do they
Propaganda.
I get that, but I just wondered, do they really feel like Stannis has been defeated? Like, after this...
For
Joffrey
PR?
probably
Yes.
does. Yeah.
Okay.
They have to show that, hey, we are top
Stannis
dog.
has
We are
been-
the only
okay.
dog.
Exactly.
Because we won the Battle of the Blackwater.
Rob's dead.
He's
or
nothing.
Renly's
Okay.
dead.
Demmed
Stannis is
dog.
beaten. And, it's
I think I
Greyjoy.
brought into their propaganda.
Balon
I kind of feel
Greyjoy.
pretty shitty right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like-
regardless if they actually believe that, they have to show that.
They're showing that's... I was wondering, I guess, do they believe that Stannis is literally no longer a threat? Because wrong.
Yeah.
Some people, there's some people that probably know that Stannis is still a threat.
Yeah.
Some of the smarter
Tyrion.
folk, the Tyrions is,
Tywins.
the Tywins is probably. Joffrey definitely
tease.
doesn't think that Sansa's a threat anymore because he
Has a
himself,
weird sword.
no army at all. He went out there on the battlefield, defeated every single one of them
Himself.
himself.
One-on-one
Blowing-
combat.
Dragon
blowing
fire
all of them.
or black.
Blowing
What is
all of-
wildfire out of his mouth like a
Yep,
dragon?
yep,
he could
did
fly.
that.
Yeah, he
That
did
was
it
all
all.
him. So
Yeah, you're probably
I'll
right, Glenn.
give credit where credit is due.
And-
Good job.
And right now, credit is due to Glenn.
Okay. Everyone say their
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. So then we have the actual final scene.
Actual final saying: the king needs a new cupbearer. Benji,
It's not here.
he's not here. We'll skip whatever he
Nope.
said.
No, you're fine. All right, where are we at? We're on the second.
The actual final scene.
Actual final scene. We will go with that first Neil is so nasally and just pussy filled, where he's like, "Oh, cupbearer, you need the one final thing." Neil. That's the most I've loathed GBP this entire fucking series. And there's a lot of shit I can hate him for. But that one, where it's right in front of everybody, you're just ultimately trying to be the biggest fucking dick in the world because you can. And it just, I don't know. That's the scene that where up until now I was like, he's a dick. I like the bad guys. I'm that guy who I will always kind of fall to the evil side of liking people, and I've never literally liked him because he's just been a whiny little bitch. But that one, it's like fuck you. That one
guy that can't back it up.
Yes,
That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's that first Neil where it's just like Neil, that sniveling fucking just Neil. It just bugged the shit out of me.
Look, you little motherfucker.
Fucking snivelous.
Dick cockbutt.
Fucking snivelous.
Draco.
Snivelous. Pettigrew.
Baby Snape.
Yes.
Baby Snape.
Fucking worst. I hate
Older Malfoy.
I hate Snape. That sucks.
Lucius.
Agreed.
Hans Gruber.
No, he's definitely a
Hans
Draco.
Hans Wyman.
He's definitely a Draco.
Yeah.
At least Lucius has something to. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh my
I'm done.
God. A
He's-
bro
he's
is not
done.
bro without bros.
Luke.
The-
Gruesome,
the-
right?
yeah, it's-
Am I right?
you said it.
Abby,
Um,
did you have anything else?
I just said like this
You
is
didn't.
just so distasteful, and Tyrion is a mad genius at the way he's working this scene. He really is. Like
Yeah.
this is mad genius. You go out there and you show them. I saw your heroism. Heroism. That's a new word. apparently.
Heroism.
Heroism.
Heroism. Thank you, Luke. He's like my spell check. Autocorrect. That's Luke for me. So
Auto Luke.
auto talk, Luke. So
Do you want smarmy?
no, I would just
Smarmy
like
God,
you
no.
to say
100%
Smarmy's the
smart.
heroism.
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 Spell bunt.
Because I'm trying to.
B-U-N-D-T.
I'm just trying to look over here and spell over here and talk over there. So, anyways, there we go. So, let me see what you showed all of us. I saw your heroism,
Mm-hmm.
and I just thought he was just this mad genius. He never said a bad thing about that king. He
Nope.
never said a bad thing. You cannot get mad at him. And then my notes kind of wanted to go ... and it just keeps getting worse. Like, it was already bad. And here we go. So,
Like the moment where Tyrion is like, Sansa, let's leave. Like let's go clean up,
Get the fuck out of here.
get out of here. He has to pee. Like in the books, it's like a big part. He's like, I have to go pee.
Yeah.
So bad because he's been pounding
hammering
There's
it.
no
Why?
international symbol for I have to pee.
It's like,
Potty dance.
again, book knowledge. Like, think of that feeling, and then Tyrion goes through this bullshit
yeah.
Yeah.
that Joffrey's putting him through,
And
it's just like, can I just
Look,
fucking leave for
I
like
gotta-
10 minutes?
I gotta rip one.
yeah.
I gotta go rip one.
And before your note, Glenn, mine kind of falls into that where he stands up to go, and I'm sorry, Bailey, but and Tyrion's like, and he's like, "Where are you going, Uncle?" And Tyrion's like, I thought he'd go get changed out of these wet clothes. Well, I also have to pee, but... And Joffrey's like, oh, no. You're perfect just the way you are.
You're perfect.
Just the way you
Almost
are.
taken out of context, completely sweet. Oh, no. You're perfect just the way you are. And I've saw that GIF and meme and... I'm sorry, GIF. I'm sorry, GIF.
I do
peanut
like
butter.
Jif peanut butter, extra crunchy.
That
please.
GIF
I like
and
Peter
meme.
Pan.
Oh no, you're perfect just the
Creamy.
way you are. You know, and I always think of that when I see the scene. It's like, nope, you can't be better. You know, so there we go.
You just are what you are.
You just are what you are.
You are what you are, Bailey.
Yeah.
I mean, the only comment I have on this one, and it kind of goes into the next scene, is look, the pie.
The dead
Marjorie's just
dove.
trying so hard.
No. She's perfect. She really is perfect. Can we all agree?
She really is.
And Abby, it's not dead dove pie. There were live fucking doves coming out of that pie.
No.
Live and dead.
Live and dead.
There were dead pigeons in the pie.
Pigeon pie? Is that
It's
literally
pigeon.
what it is?
Pigeon.
It's
Yeah.
pigeon pie.
So they just left
Dove.
them feathered in the pie?
It's more of a showy thing. Like, oh, someone's popping out of the cake. They do it for
Or like when
they
It's
hit it with
just there to be fancy.
Well,
it's
no,
just to be fancy.
when Lloyd from
No, she's talking about after they slice it and they cut away and there's dead birds.
There's
There
dead birds
it's
in
dead
them.
pigeons. Doves fly out, but it's pigeon in the
Pigeon.
pie.
Okay, but why would
It's
they
dry,
not defeather the pigeons? He killed pigeons on the way down with a slice.
No.
Yeah,
Does-
but
Yes.
he also didn't cook them
Yeah.
while
Oh my goodness.
there were
Even if
there
it's
were
pigeon pie,
defeathered.
They would be defeathered, deboned, deveined, whatever you fuck you do with them, sauced in, whipped up.
poultry eyes.
They don't know
Yes.
Gordon Ramsay,
Whatever.
okay? They just
No,
throw the
no,
pigeons.
he killed on the way down.
They
He
do.
killed
They
one.
do. They would
like,
at least
They know
defeather those
Gordon Ramsay
motherfuckers.
of house food.
He sliced through it like an asshole and killed some of the doves. And those dead doves are what you
Right.
see.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll pull back because I think
He killed a couple on the way in.
okay,
And
fair
you
enough.
see their
And
beaks
I guess
and
maybe
their
that's also their way of
eyeballs.
showing, hey, there's
Yeah.
actual. This is pigeon pie. You know, there's birds in here. So okay, fair.
and we've seen this before in films like Dumb and Dumber, where Lloyd Christmas goes to pick up Mary Swanson, and she just opens the door and doves fly out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
In-
he
in
bit
the-
off his
in-
head. He
The
ripped off-
Oh.
dream sequence.
he ripped off
I really
Petey's
hate
head.
birds.
Oh my god.
really
I sold a sack of marbles, some baseball cards. Petey,
Petey, you sold
you
my
sold
headless
dead
bird.
to a blind kid. Harry,
Petey want a
dead-
cracker?
That deaf
Petey
dumb
want a
black kid
cracker?
sure plays a mean pinball.
I took care of it. Okay,
All right.
so, I said kneel.
Yeah. It's like I am the king. That's the equivalent of I am the king. Yeah. That's a.
I am the king.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
where are we at?
So we got. I think.
Some of these aren't. The last like 2 lines aren't labeled.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is they play this game of get my goblet, you're the cupbearer, give me some wine. Eventually, Joffrey starts kind of like
He eats a little bit of the pie.
Kick
a little bit of
Says
the
it's
pie,
really dry. Takes
really
a
dry,
drink of
takes a drink,
of the cup.
and just kind of a little bit of like kind of trying to clear his throat, like kinda,
Pie's good, but it's a little dry.
Frank,
Needs
Frank.
washing
Just a
down.
little.
merchandise rice.
And what's his name? The guy in the original Americana suit.
Dantos.
No. He's got like the Americana shield and stuff. Way a long time ago, tells Sansa, come with me.
Yeah. Trope warning. Come with me if you want to live. Dantos.
He was
Dantos.
That was Dantos.
Dantos.
The fool.
Yeah,
So
the
Dantos-
fool.
Dantos the fool.
Did you see episode 1? Did you actually go back and rewatch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the
So
one they gave
in
her
that
that
episode-
He has a necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, like all before that, Joffrey starts kind of choking, and then eventually he croaks.
He dies.
He
I
dies.
mean, he bites the bullet. He eats
Sure.
the pie. He rolls on over.
Right. And I think I remember my first cup of wine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this is where my gruesome comment
This is
was.
what-
Yeah,
meant
this
for
is
the
where the
review.
purple and
It's-
purple wedding comes from.
Yes, and first time watcher, this is why it's called the purple wedding. We have Rob's red wedding for
Yeah,
all
it's
the blood
awful.
spilled.
Fuck
This is
that.
the purple wedding for the face that.
Because of lack of oxygen. I mean, are we just supposed to be led to believe that he was poisoned, or
Well,
We'll
we'll
get
get
to
to that in
that.
your speculations. How about that? But either way, the face, the color of his face is why they call it the purple wedding.
Yeah. Bailey, any thoughts?
I mean, everyone summed up exactly what I had to say.
And you sound great.
Yes.
Tell
Well
the kids.
reasoned.
Well reasoned.
Yeah, so
Was this the Ravenclaw common room?
My only thing is with this, like, for once, Sansa, somebody's telling you to go. Come with me, Sansa. Go on the ship, Sansa.
let's get out of
Does she
Dodge.
go?
Fucking listen.
Does she go?
This time, listen. I'll be safe in King's Landing. No.
Okay.
She doesn't go.
Fair
That's
enough.
her
And then
and
we
Tyrion have
end the
little Tyrion
episode
babies.
on Abby or on Bailey. What song do we end the episode on?
Beats the shit out of me.
On
That-
Abby. What do we end the episode on?
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
One, something wrong with me. Two,
All right,
something wrong.
right. Because
drowning pool?
Glenn and Luke give me shit all the time for bringing it up.
Dem Rains.
Dem Rains. Yeah.
Sorry,
Closing
And
credits
I wasn't
on.
thinking
You know,
that.
Abby,
It was a
Benji
different-
instilled that value in you.
I
each
said it
and
like
every time.
twice, and now it's a.
you really played it up.
It's a meme. No,
You've
fine,
been memed.
fine.
But this was a new version of it. It
was.
was a very. I mean, it's
Yeah, it was it was a higher pitched and a little bit
And-
lighter.
This episode 2, during the wedding scene, whatever, there's the, I don't know the name of it is, like the maiden fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like super,
they
like,
had a dancing bear.
jazzy too. I don't know, both of them. Jazzy.
That was in
Super,
that.
super jazz.
Jazz-
I'm not gonna lie,
They
I
had
missed
that-
I think
that.
they
in this
play. I
episode?
think they play that at like ceremonies and stuff like that. I think it was played
It's
somewhere
it's like
in the
a
thing.
wedding song. I mean, it's
I mean,
like, hey, we're getting like the party.
It's the duck
going.
dance.
But
It's a.
both of them aren't,
No,
like,
it's
up-
like celebration.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh.
too soon. Duck dance,
Duck
too
dance.
soon.
Fuck. This is not funny. I literally cried. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I am going to hell, but
in a handbasket over
I'm going to
here.
hell in a
For real.
handbasket. But hell is Earth, so I'm already here.
But so
Yeah.
I
So,
forgive you.
I'm
Glenn.
sorry
The Lord of
to the
Light forgives
families.
you.
Let's take a cheers
Ooh,
to
baby,
the families that were affected by the
Ooh, baby,
It's like
this
right
is
in the
hell.
Dutch
tragedy at Table Rock Lake.
Yeah.
I apologize for my statements. And
Mid Missouri, Glenn, send him your emails or tweets. at
you are now banned from
Popsicle
Branson for 4 years.
No.
me, I
All
haven't
right.
I
been,
mean,
I haven't
I
been
did
there.
not
in-
condone any of this.
I haven't been there in like 15 years. So
Abby's going tomorrow.
I'm going on
what's
20.
another
Are you-
4?
No.
All right.
I'm going to North Carolina.
Yeah, let's get-
So, see you later.
Anyway, all right. My only last note is actually Cersei kind of makes me feel bad.
Almost.
almost.
I don't know if it's.
It's one of those.
I get it, but I
it's
don't know if I feel
It's
if
the
I-
movie shit. Diggory, Diggory's dad in the movie.
Amos Diggory?
Amos Diggory in the movie
Amos Jelly.
because he
Diggory.
was such a dick and.
He was not. Amos
Book,
Diggory was a
book
was Amos
wise,
Diggory
I felt bad for him. Book wise, I felt bad for him. Movie wise, he was an asshole and.
He was not. He was a proud father.
Oh
of
no!
his son and his
I'm sorry.
accomplishments.
Reversed. But,
Liar.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm,
how would you think of the
Reverse.
I'm
Wrong.
reversing. I know Bailey.
This is such an interesting group to talk about.
I know.
Amos Diggory.
I know, but I'm reversing on it. Book wise,
Book-wise,
I don't get it.
he was a dick. Movie wise, it felt like it was fitting. So I'm sorry. I take that
no.
back. But
Oh, let me say the exact
Oh,
opposite of what I was saying.
no,
I know
love
what you're
Cersei.
saying.
yeah.
I know what you're
So,
getting at.
but it's one of those of Cersei at that point where as much shit and bitchiness as she's done and put everyone else through, that's still her first son.
She watched her kid die.
And
That's as true as you can be.
Yeah, it sucks. And that's probably the first time I've ever truly felt something for her.
I don't know. I find her definitely to be a compelling character.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
many,
yeah,
many
absolutely.
ways, and a very real character in a lot of ways. And
Yeah.
I can feel for her here, and not even just here. I mean, there are other places where she's conniving. Yeah, she's a bitch.
Yeah,
Like I mean, just
for
like
lack of
flat
better
out, flat out,
terms.
just a bitch. But at the same time, she's still human, and that's I think the
Exactly.
moral of all of these
This is
stories.
a
For the
kid.
most part, there are very few non-human characters.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
they're still people.
No,
We
absolutely.
Am's people too.
But then she completely
Dems
flips it
peoples.
around.
Am's people.
She flips
Kid
it
for
on its head
once.
right at that moment. Like, you feel for her when she's holding Joffrey.
That's her boy.
That's her boy, and you feel, but then
That's her
automatically, him.
Right? Yeah. I know. It's like
Well, I think Joffrey
Don't-
kind of points the finger.
Yeah,
He lifts his finger up like.
Yeah,
I
you know.
don't
But at
know
the
that
same
for
time, she was ready to jump on it. Just
Yeah, I agree there.
Jump
Yeah.
on it.
Jump
Thank
on.
you, Luke.
you know, she's ready to jump
Hop
on
on-
it.
hop
So
on,
it's kind of
pop.
one of those. There was like a good.
Blood pop.
There's a good 6 seconds of
you're like, oh,
damn.
Cersei
Okay.
shit.
Oh really? But at the same time, who's to know? He fucking Tyrion might have done it.
For once, could Tyrion not be blamed for the murder, pushing kid off the, tower once?
All right. Like Burger King, we got to wrap this whopper up.
Yeah.
Glad
We will go to episode title accuracy, The Lion and the Rose,
Sure. There was a wedding.
and the wardrobe.
And
Should've been-
there was a. Oh my God, that dress.
So that-
Wardrobe.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
But it should have been lion, stag, and robe.
No.
Just he was a lion. His sigil was lion and
the
stag.
lion/stag.
Why was she
and the
just
rose.
a Tyrell
They're gonna-
and he is a Lannister hybrid
Baratheon.
Baratheon?
Because he is the reason he's king is because he's Baratheon.
But he's
but
not.
he's main. Meh. But he's
But no one else knows that.
yes. But he holds both houses in high regard. So he was a Baratheon and a Lannister.
Blah, blah,
So that's why his sigil.
That's why he's a
Joffrey's sigil-
pussy, because he can't make up his
Yeah.
goddamn mind.
His sigil was actually a lion and a stag together. But
Oh, together.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
I mean, for the record,
Disc-
Marjorie's mother was a Hightower,
mm-hmm.
which is just Old Town, which is basically just more reach. So there's no regional differences there.
Okay.
So it's a cross section of Westerlands
what
and
I
Stormlands,
was-
as opposed to here's just two of the two houses in
Okay.
the reach.
All right.
Does that
Sure.
That's
help?
fine.
Okay.
Description accuracy. The Lannisters and their guests gather in King's Landing. Stannis loses patience with Davos. Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet.
Stannis?
I don't know.
Davos?
Does he really lose patience with Davos? I mean, they kind of come at odds a little bit, but
It's every day.
it wasn't.
He snarks him.
It
That's
wasn't
like
like it wasn't
running-
like the I'm going to kill you.
No.
I'm sentencing
Yeah,
you to
that really
death,
fun.
which is what happened last episode.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, I agree. Like, it was basically. I forgot what I was going to say, but.
Run of the mill.
Run
Stannis.
of the mill Stannis. Yeah, that's just the same thing that's happened the whole goddamn season. Or their whole
Series.
relationship, the whole series.
Yeah,
It's
they're like
just-
an old married couple.
Kinda
Kinda
like this, and it's like,
one's
oh,
a hothead, and one
now-
tries to cool him down.
Now he's losing
Right.
patience.
So
Don't kill me yet. You might
honest
be-
question.
I'm still here to the king. you sentenced me to death, but you haven't denounced me as hand of the king. So I'm going to advise against this.
Right, like
Where's
la-
the beer hog?
maybe
I loved that.
maybe last episode, it would have been more fitting. Maybe as Stannis loses
I
patience
agree.
with Davos.
I feel like I agree. That
like
fits
this
last
is
episode
he
better.
just kind of said what he thought about the whole burning at the stake of all them peoples and stuff like that, and it is what it is. And then Ramsay finds a purpose for his pet, and that I guess is shaving.
Yeah, that and
Well,
kind of
when
walking
it's-
around behind the hunting.
But when they say that they're going to go to where are they going from here? They say it
Where
specifically
do they go
in
from here?
the
I'm
episode.
feeling this. Turn the lights down.
God damn it! Why am I so drunk at this point? I should know more.
It's because you broke your leg.
God darn it! Yeah, I am on painkillers. Straight painkillers and drinking.
I don't know where they said they were
Bolton.
going.
Bolton
It was in the
says,
second scene. Roos says
yeah,
this.
so he says, you take him to wherever the iron boards are that hold.
Moat Kalen.
Moat Kalen.
You
Sure.
know what? Fuck, I didn't know that. That's in my notes.
Yeah, because that's
Moat
why
Kalen.
Roos had to smuggle himself
Yes,
through there, basically.
because he might Reek or Theon might be of use there. So that's like where they're headed to.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And if you look at the map,
There
they
it is.
basically went through the neck.
Somewhere over there.
But we won't do that now because
Okay. We got big butts, so we cannot
All right.
lie.
Are we done with that or no?
I think we're
Yes.
done with that.
Got it.
Is that
I see
accurate?
it.
I'm gonna give it a 3/5.
3.0.
3/5 accurate.
Okay, cool.
Like a voting record.
Least favorite thing. What
Oh my
was your
God.
least favorite thing, Benji?
By design, giant baby pussy. I love this episode. It was a very good episode. Really, nothing bothered me. There were not very many slow points, but God, fucking Joffrey just pissed me off.
God damn it.
Yeah, he just did. But again, it was by design, so that's
By
my least favorite
design.
thing. But it's not really the worst.
Okay, Luke.
I really hate on Shay so much, but like when she starts crying,
God damn it.
Oh yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
it's
I
just
feel like she knew she was
so
coming.
frustrating.
Frustrating.
All right, Big Bill.
it's frustrating.
This is serious.
And like I'm all for book Shay. I appreciate a lot more. Show Shay is rough. That's when she starts crying
Show Shay.
after he shows her the door.
Shoshay?
Yeah.
Show Shay redemption.
Shoshay is rough.
Always
It's rough.
Say that
a
10
second.
Show Shay is rough.
Oh, no, I hit the
Show
same
Shay is
thing, and
rough.
he likes to overtalk.
Anyway,
Damn, he's so much quicker than us. over here. We always just have your thoughts
So
3
that's-
seconds after you've already said them.
That's your favorite thing. Okay, cool.
that's not my favorite thing.
No, it is. Bailey, your least favorite thing?
I mean, I feel like my least favorite thing always is Bran.
I'm
I don't understand his scenes.
I'm pretty much right there
I
with you,
understand him.
Bailey. You know, it's one of those.
They would not like Professor Girardi's class.
Well, there wasn't that much with. There's just wasn't it just that one
Yeah.
scene?
But there's
With them?
flashes and there's things and they touch it and then wham.
Let them have their.
I don't get any of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, it's one of those of I can appreciate it for as quick as it was. That's why I didn't pick it as my favorite. It was because it was a quick, 3-minute scene. Okay, here we go. That's it. But yeah, nothing happened. There was absolutely nothing happened in that scene
It
apart from
contributed nothing to the episode.
We're just here,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I touched a tree, and then I
Yep.
saw stuff, and like at this point, you don't know at all really what that means at all.
no. Exactly, Glenn. And that's the best way I can put it. And I didn't even put it that way. Glenn did. So,
Sure.
so Glenn, what was your least favorite thing?
My least favorite thing, I mean, I like the episode, but and they do this every now and then. They just kind of leave certain stuff out of the episode.
Yeah.
And I really like the Jon Snow
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. So
Yeah, because there's no
Jon Snow.
and that's all that was in the episode was who the fuck is Jon Snow?
Yeah. So there's no Jon Snow. There's no Danny. There's no Samwell.
Wildling, no stir fry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did we get Abby's before she wandered off?
No, we didn't.
she didn't. We'll get both of them at the same time.
All right. Well,
Favorite thing then?
favorite thing. All right.
You have me to go?
No, yeah, go
You're
ahead.
the host. You pick.
Yep.
I will go. I think probably the purple wedding is my favorite thing. Just like not, I could see like that happening. Like I could guess that, but especially after the Red Wedding, I didn't see it coming like this quickly. I guess so.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
More
You know,
stuff would happen than like eventually, but it was really quick, And
Yeah.
what was this season or episode 2?
Yeah. So you got
3.
Well, 3 episodes
I mean,
in between because 8. Well, because
It was 9.
Yeah,
You-
9.
10, 1, and 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like 2.5.
yeah,
And I think that's kind of a big part of it is if we think back to the Mel burning the leeches
The
thing, it's
leeches.
like, well, they gotta start dropping like flies, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's how it works.
which for the record, flies are sometimes hard to kill. You guys can speak to that better than I can, but
no, the flies themselves aren't hard. It's the larvae that you got to
Yeah,
worry about.
those-
It's the kids you got to worry about.
oh, dem kids.
Bailey,
I mean, my favorite thing was definitely the Purple Wedding. I could not wait to see Joffrey die.
I mean, you picked this episode to join our show. We gave you the choice of what episode you wanted, and you wanted this one, correct?
Yes.
And it was forwarded that scene. Yes, or
It
no?
was specifically for Joffrey dying.
There we go.
Here you go.
Hey, too soon.
Too soon.
I knew
Too
what I
soon,
was
Glenn.
choosing.
Yeah. No,
Not soon
absolutely.
enough.
So, Abby, you walked away
Sorry.
before.
Yeah, you
That's
got-
okay.
You got your least favorite thing and your favorite thing.
Yep.
At least
Doom,
her thing, no Arya.
no Arya.
Okay, fair.
True.
Never cool.
Is that a musical term?
No Arya and
There was-
Hound.
There was no Arya.
No
in this
chickens.
orchestra. Sorry.
It's okay. My favorite thing would probably be the fact I would have used this last episode, but since it wasn't part of it, there was Braun.
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 One off the list,
Braun or Yoren?
Braun. I just had more time with him.
Sure.
That's all.
And that's fair. That's fair.
That's
I
all.
just knew how big of a
Good
Yoren fan
I
you
was
were.
a huge Jordan fan.
Yorn.
And that Bjorn.
Braun or Littlefinger.
And Luke
Bjorn.
has allowed me to listen and read the first books, and Yorn is definitely
We're
in
getting
them.
real close. I think you probably read book 2 now. At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're
book
we're
2.
done with
And
2.
it's kind of like killing me because I'm like, I really love
And actually, you
and I
might be.
know it
Oh no, yeah, no,
At
2.
least
I
I
think
believe.
you're safe on 2.
Yeah, I think you're safe on 2.
on
So,
2.
officially.
Ride home.
You've been
There we
released.
go.
There you go.
You have been released. You've signed your papers.
Release
So-
me to your Luke.
All right, my favorite thing is, in all honesty, the brand scene. I love the Weirwood net stuff. I love
You
the.
get off to that, yeah. Okay.
I was jacking off when we were talking about it. You guys didn't see it because I'm on this side of the table. But no, I really appreciate not knowing what all of it means.
Yeah.
And because that's the kind of stuff that keeps me intrigued. If I knew all the answers, it would be less interesting.
It'd be less interesting.
Yeah.
You know, as Glenn would say, it'd be less interesting. And I don't know. I find those questions and that
Answers.
opportunity for tinfoil and how does this connect and will it connect? And it, like Abby said earlier, sometimes prophecy doesn't happen. Those are the things that I appreciate about this story.
Yeah.
And because it makes you question, like, how true is that stuff? Like, we just don't know. And
we don't.
It's not so clear cut on, oh, well, here's this character's intentions and here's his political views and let's just, see how they clash. It's interesting, but it's pretty easy to tell who's going to end up winning when you put golden dragons behind it and swords and hands.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell where it's going to go. It's these unforeseen things that I find most interesting.
Most interesting.
No, that's
As
fair.
Glenn would say, most interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, thanks.
We're going to move on to other
Hey.
podcasts.
Hey.
There's still more favorite things. There's still more.
Did you get yours?
No, I didn't get mine in yet.
No.
Mine's pretty.
Never mind. Go.
And I would just. Yeah. My favorite thing is, honestly, for the first time ever, it's a Tyrion and Shay scene. I loved that Tyrion finally did what he needed to do to protect himself and to protect Shay. As much as I don't like the actor or the portrayal of Shay in the show,
You still don't want her to fucking get
yeah,
killed.
I don't
or,
want her to
like,
get killed. I
anything.
don't want her to get fucking owned because she's doing who she's doing. But Tyrion finally stepped up as much as it hurt him to do. he fucking did it and got rid of her. You know, she gone. Bye, girl. You know.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. You know, and it sucks. You know, when you're in that breakup mode and you're just, I'm done. I gotta, you know, yes, you are the
And
best
sometimes
head
it's-
in the world.
Sometimes it's
But-
not, I don't even want this, but this is what has to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just a very good scene on Peter Dinklage's part. Hers, meh, okay, but
I don't think she's as horrible as you guys think.
that's fair.
Just throwing it out there.
That's fair.
To be fair.
No, and that's fair. I just her part. Actually, she did play it well because, again, as we talked about differences between show and book, show-wise, there was this cold-hearted separation of she's her whore. She's her whore, or she's his whore, and all that. But this one, it did show emotion on both their parts, and it was a well-done scene. So,
All right, Glennie, wrap us up.
Sure. We are going to move on to other podcasts. We're going to talk about the podcast that must not be named. Bailey, go ahead.
So, the podcast that must not be named is a Harry Potter podcast that stays completely spoiler free up until the final episode of each season. So, I fully recommend this podcast if you have not read Harry Potter because it is amazing.
And you can learn more at thepodcastthat.com. All right, first time watcher on the wall predictions.
That'd be me.
That would be you.
All right. Prediction number one. Bran needs to go to King's Landing. To the Godswood? Is that what they call it in King's Landing? Or the... What is that, like, sacred...
Godswood is the
Is
for
that
the 7, yeah.
In King's... Okay.
Where Sansa's been going.
Yep.
Is the Godswood.
That's where he needs to go.
okay.
Miranda will become
Is he going to King's Landing?
one of Ramsay's victims.
Okay.
Sansa and Tyrion have babies.
Yummy.
And I'm going to
For
even
breakfast,
throw
or-
this out there. I think they're going to have 2 girls, then a boy.
Okay. I like the specifics.
I
appreciate
I don't
that.
mind being wrong, but the reason I think this is because the girls are like treated so like less than. I think they're gonna have a baby, not a boy. A baby, not a boy. Then a boy, finally.
A third child being the boy.
Yeah, and then they stop.
And he'll be all of the mountain size.
Or
Maybe.
Tyrion size,
Yeah,
but he's
I-
also like Tyrion 2.0.
Sorry.
And he's the shit because he was raised by
Right.
his 2 sisters.
So we got 3. Number 4. My prediction that I have written down is Brienne sees the good in people.
Brian.
Brian.
No, I was sorry.
Yeah,
Miss her-
Brienne sees the good in people.
What I mean by that is very much even what Cersei is saying. Like, you just follow on a whim. Over here, over there. But she will follow bad people because she sees what is good about them. Or she will follow... I don't know. I love her, but she sees the good in people to her own fault. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just also trying to type it in.
Yeah,
Because at some point we are going to go back and review all of your predictions
that
from
all came true.
from
except
season
for
1.
one that you don't let me live down. One. You had one wrong.
From season 1 up until now. Like, I think that's going to be, because I think by the time we end it, if I'm praying and hoping, we're going to have like 1 or 2 weeks in between
Before
our
that.
final
Yeah.
episode to season 8, episode 1. And those 2 weeks are be covering Abby's fuck ups and Abby's right calls.
All right, so there's been one.
1 week of fuck ups and 1 week of right calls.
There's been one.
I'm just,
And how many people off the list have
yeah, how many people off the list?
Yeah, have we found on my list?
gone but not forgotten?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to get like where are they signs. Shit.
Where
They're
did
on the
where
boat.
Where did they go? Where are they going?
Where'd you
Go
go,
to
Cotton Eye
Nathan's
Joe?
house.
How?
And crash.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from?
All right.
I joke.
All right. Okay, now, ladies.
All right.
All right. Is that all of them? That's all 4?
That's all 4.
Oh, son of a gun. All right, we are going to move on to the house name, words, sigils, swords, and all that stuff.
House superlatives.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Bailey, do you mind starting off? Or
Sure, I am Bailey of House Blend. My house words are, but first, coffee.
I'm sorry, Billy, to stop you. I read that today, and I fucking lost it. I was laughing my ass off because my wife's a coffee addict, and yes.
Caffeined.
Caffeined, yes. I read that, I was like, oh, and she's like, what's so funny? I'm like, don't worry about it. But
House Blend.
My desk at work is definitely dedicated to coffee.
Nice.
So I feel like all of these are appropriate.
Do go on.
My house sigil is a mermaid on a field of green. My house sword is Swizzle Stick. My house region is the Stormlands, and we pray to the Lord of Light. Our horse name is Biscotti, and our animal is Penelope the Palm Civet, which to those of you who don't know,
I don't know what the Palm
Civet. It's a cat that eats coffee beans and shits them out, which is the most expensive coffee known to man.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, no, fair. I'm like, what the hell's a Palm Civet? That makes sense. Yep.
It's a coffee cat, definitely.
The coffee cat.
Our ancestral home is the fort at Pike Place. Our hometown newspaper is the Morning Brew.
Fitting.
nice.
Our famous house ancestor is Alfred Pete, who taught everybody who founded Starbucks everything they know. And my personal Twitter is @RiddleWrites.
Nice. And I've been waiting. You're the first one to go to the Lord of Light. I've been waiting for somebody on this damn show. Thank you. Like every guest and every.
I felt like I had to choose something different.
Yeah, thank you.
I have never changed any of my stuff, but I feel like my change is coming.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got a change coming?
A change.
Fair enough.
At least it's not every episode like someone was for a
Change
while.
and winter.
Well, you want to talk about your changes, or
I think I'm secure
Change
in
it,
my,
turn the
talk about
face around.
security.
not now? But
No,
Yeah,
I
go-
can change about it.
Go ahead, Abby.
Okay, so I am Gertie of House Condescension. My words are, we don't quit. Our house sigil is a field of white with a raven sitting on top of up-pointed chevron. My house sword is Gunther, a.k.a. the Battler. Battler. Yeah. My house region is north of the wall. We play to the old gods. My horse's name is Odin, and my animal's name is JJ, short for Judge Judy, because she's a honey badger and doesn't give a shit. My ancestral home is Gertie's Gallows. We read the Nightly Raven. My famous house ancestor is Casey Jones. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, which you should, I can be found at GoHomeGertie.
Luke
My
on.
final thought. Nada.
Nada?
Not a pro thought.
I am Lucan of House Blackmead. House words, ours is the drink. Our house sigil is an obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background. I carry around a Valyrian steel axe called Sweet Sting. We are from the Riverlands because we do supply the Crossroads Inn with all of their meat needs.
Mad Neds.
Mad Neds. Thank you, Glenn. And we support, for religion, the old gods. I ride a horse called Cherry. A couple episodes ago, I mentioned she had a broken leg. She's coming back.
She have a broken femur.
A broken femur,
You know
And a fractured tibia.
and a fractured tibia. To be fair, but she's coming around. We haven't put a bullet in her yet. But I also have Paris the Parrot, and we shack up at Black Cask Keep and
You and
read
the parrot?
the drowned word. I have a parrot. And our famous house ancestor is Ashmere Rivers. You'll learn more about him later. And you can follow me on my personal Twitter at LucaFerocious.
Benji.
All right, I am Sly of House McLean. My official words, it's dangerous to drink alone. My unofficial words
You don't
are... My house sigil is 3 gold triangles on a field of red and black.
How do you spell that onomatopoeia of...
Bush.
Is it K-T-C-H-A-H?
So my
Also spelled onomatopoeia.
the sword I carry is Konami because they make blades of steel. I come from the Reach. I pray to the gods
Reach
of tits and
around.
wine. I ride Peach all night long. My animal of choice is Ares the Phoenix. I come from the Tower of Hera.
Watch out for Moldorn.
Thank you. We read the Daily Sun, and my great uncle John, the savior of winter celebrations, says yippee-ki-yay.
Thanks, John McClane.
You can find me at Sly McLean.
And I am Glenn of House Dog. My house words are: you miss 99% of the shots you don't
I
take.
just love it. 99% of the shots you don't there's 1% you don't take a shot, but you make it.
But it hits off you and deflects into the net. That's what happens.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
Ninja.
Anyways, House Sidge, Spuds McKenzie with the Wayne Gretzky jersey number 99. My house sword is Johnny Utah. House Region, The Veil. House Religion, Dem New Gods. Horse name, Horse Meat. My animal is Rich the Flying Squirrel. Ancestral home, Castle at Beast Mountain. I subscribe to the Moondor Bee. And my famous house ancestor, the Doof of Dunsandale.
The doof of Dunsandale.
And that was a joke we made.
That was a joke that we made.
It's
Um,
part of my fam. Personal Twitter at Popsicle Stand. So,
Final thought?
yeah.
See you, giant baby pussy.
Giant baby pussy. Not
Bye,
gonna be,
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
it's like seeing your kid graduate from high school or something like that. You
And
know,
then
where
you kill him.
you make a nickname for a character like that, and then they die
They've
off.
kind
so
of
it's
gone.
kind of
Yeah,
like
because that nickname only lasted from late season 2.
was it late
2-9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the lead. It was Blackwater episode.
Into Blackwater. Yeah, I think that's where that got
it was 8,
introduced.
because it was before Johnny was on. It was
My
8.
Okay.
Final thought is if you love nachos with jalapenos on them,
Dude, this beer.
get you some
Right?
Lil Lucy's hot pepper ale. You won't be disappointed.
Is a golden ale with serrano and
And
jalapeno
it'll-
peppers added.
it'll put lead in your pencil.
Yeah, and
The road to ale is peppered with good intentions.
Sure.
and for the spicy wimps out there like myself, it's drinkable. It is very drinkable.
Well, and
So this
Anything's
is
drinkable if
this is
you're
actually
brave.
hitting close to home. This is brewed and canned by Weston Brewing Company, which is in Weston, Missouri. Which,
No
if
shit.
Jason Turnbull is listening, one of my best friends from college, lives in Weston, Missouri.
You
Same-
stole my idea.
Same place that McCormick's whiskey is made.
Oh, hey.
yeah.
So if you've heard of McCormick's, Weston, Missouri.
Only their spices.
It's like
Western Missouri. be the
45
place.
minutes north of Kansas City.
Okay.
It's a town
Oh, town in Missouri.
Western
It
Missouri.
exists.
on the border from Kansas.
All right.
There we go. All right, moving on. Become a patron to get access to our epilogue episode coming up next with our wonderful guest. Patreon.com/stayimaginary. Bailey, what has been your favorite thing about being a Patreon of the podcast that.com?
I mean, it's definitely all of the things. I love supporting great content, and the podcast that has such amazing content, and I love every single podcast that you guys produce.
Hey.
Just how we scripted it. No, we appreciate
Yeah,
that.
your-
Thank you.
Your check's in the mail.
your refund.
For all the ways you can help keep our beer bank full, check out thepodcastthat.com/supportus.
Thanks for reading exactly how
It's written.
Google Sheets breaks up the column.
You go.
Supportus.
Phonics is my friend.
Hooked on Phonics.
Phonics.
All right, follow us on Twitter at KnowAndDrink. Send us a digital raven, knowandDrink@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, rate, and leave comments on iTunes and YouTube.
And the YouTube.
And until next time,
As always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
as always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I.
As always, stay imaginary.
And as always, keep reading.
Love it.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
What's that?
We gonna run there?
I mean, it's only one.
All right, will you end that file right there? Go ahead and hit hit stop, the bottom button.
Yeah, the mom's. Oh, Joe's upstairs. Oh, okay. What's that? Fair enough. Take pictures.
No, you can if you get caught.
Yeah, you can't. You only can if you get caught.
You know what's really sad? I've probably been to more strip clubs than you people in this.
Oh, I'm guaranteed that.
You took me to a strip
How
club.
many have you been to?
You were.
Crystal took you. I did not go. I was pregnant and miserable. I was not there. Crystal took you.
You sure about that?
Absolutely. I didn't go. I was too tired.
So it was Crystal, Joe, and me?
No, Joe was in Afghanistan.
That's not Hey, Glenn, is there a plug over there?
It was not.
No.
It was Crystal's stupid boyfriend. Like, who that, not even boyfriend, just like dude who used to hang around her. His ass on.
All right, I'm going to be smart about the stream and throw this over to the making water thing.
Sorry.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
All right, welcome back to the podcast that drinks and knows things. We are on our epilogue episode for season 4, episode 2, The Lion, the Rose, and the Wardrobe. So what are we talking about today?
The woman's weapon.
The woman's weapon.
The Strangler, Poisons,
Yeah.
Tyrion, Joffrey.
Basically, what happened at the
Tyrion.
Purple Wedding and who set it up and who, what, why, when, and where, and how.
So basically, like one of the biggest plot points in the rest of the show.
in about 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it.
Sure.
So Bailey. Sorry, I was just
Put her on the spot. So,
Go for it.
all right. So the big thing here, I'm going to reference back to the poison that we see take Joffrey is the Strangler. The first time we see that is the epilogue to book 2
Yes.
with Maester Crescent
Right.
when we first go to Dragonstone and,
And
we
he's
see
Yeah.
trying to off her.
he's trying to
because
take Melisandre out.
and we do see that in
Basically
season,
like a mutual. I'm gonna go out with.
We'll
her.
have a drink together. Here,
Yeah.
here you go.
And we see him get choked up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it doesn't affect her.
yeah, and we do
Yeah.
see that in season 1, I believe.
That was 2.
S-
That was
I'm sorry,
season
season
2.
2, episode 1.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yep.
See
I
the
believe you.
same exact scene, but because you referenced the epilogue, so I'm saying that was a show.
I actually meant prologue. If I said epilogue, I apologize. I meant prologue.
That's fair. So, but we did see this exact same scene. But yeah, same poison, same kind of effects going on very quickly, which for most poisons, honestly, most poisons don't act that fast.
And that's why this one is. It leaves no traces and it acts hyper quick.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like how it's described in the books.
Right, and you can't
it's
really
just so dangerous.
easily get a antidote or whatever.
because it's so quick.
away,
Like
yeah.
even if you knew what was happening,
It gives you
shit, I
no
drank that.
chance to
Oh.
react to it.
right? Unless you were like, okay, I'm taking the Strangler. Here's the antidote. Get ready to shove this
Please give it to me
down my
now.
throat.
Because all the kids are doing that at
Bourgeois.
parties.
Bourgeois.
Bourgeois.
Right?
Dude,
That's what the audiobook says.
You gotta take this
Bizarre or
shot and
bourgeois?
then take this other shot so you don't die.
Take
Yeah.
this other shot to offset the first shot. That you
Right. So my thing with it is Pycelle maybe could have had an antidote on him, but Cersei had sent him away, with the whole go
The-
alert them.
yeah.
The problem with that theory, quite literally right before Joffrey drinks the fucking wine, Pycelle's sitting in the fucking audience again.
Is he?
Yeah.
So even though he was sent away like 2 scenes before,
Yeah.
he's sitting there watching
So
this.
there's no argument to why he couldn't run up and, I'm a maester with all these fucking pockets to dump this shit down
These
his throat.
Hagrid fucking trench coat pockets.
Right.
Yeah. I was
Is that
watching
like
for
a-
it because at that scene, I'm like, okay, so that's why Pycelle's away and all that. But 2 scenes later, there he is.
And would that be like a, I don't know what they call it, continuity error or something like that? Where
Yeah,
they
it
just
kind
didn't,
of
they
is.
didn't realize it at the time. They're just, and like a lot of these shows, they like kind of, they film shit like kind of out of order, and then
And
somebody
sometimes
pieces them back together, so maybe
narratively
they're-
it doesn't quite line
yeah.
up.
So they were
yeah. And
filming this scene. Pycelle was there, and
Because
they
when they're
didn't
filming
realize it.
that one scene, they're probably like, okay, we need like a lot of recognizable faces
Sure.
witnessing this.
yeah. And I think
As
this-
opposed to, well, where is each individual character supposed to be? And that's just part
Yeah.
of production. Like, that's going to happen.
And I think the scene I'm thinking of is actually the 5 King, is where they show Pycelle sitting there kind of chuckling, kind of.
Yeah, 'cause he was one of the ones
supporting
that was
House
chuckling.
Flames.
Yeah, supporting him and all
Next
that,
to Varys, I think.
which is a minute and a half, after she told me go feed the dogs, and 30 seconds before he starts choking.
And then third
It's like, well, let me watch this 5 Kings battle, and then I'll go tell them.
Yeah.
All right, Bailey, what are your thoughts on the poisoning, like just the way this was shot, filmography wise?
It's such an effective way to get rid of Joffrey. He has no chance to be like, wait, someone's trying to kill me. So I definitely agree with it 100%.
Yeah, there's no
Or-
reaction time. There's
yeah.
no
Sending
working
orders
against
to-
it time. It's just,
Kill him.
you've been a cunt.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you've worked towards. Go ahead and
You
live,
reap what you sow.
not through this.
Yeah, fuck you, Joffrey. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this is all spoilers, as we know. So, Abby, if you're listening, get the fuck out.
Right.
She's not here in studio.
The
Video
second
people-
time or third time only she's been in studio for an episode.
Right.
And the first time ever when we were going to an epilogue.
It's true.
And it's
That's
like,
true.
go.
Yeah, and so we literally kicked her out of the fucking house. And
Toodaloo.
toodaloo. Broken leg at all, hobble out.
Broken femur.
Broken femur. Sorry, not a full broken leg. I apologize for misleading the audience. But we know that Olenna Tyrell
Yeah.
and I want to say Microfinger are like the two big ones behind this
Yes.
whole ordeal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know that from watching other
Season
seasons. Like,
7
confirm for
and-
sure.
Yeah.
Well, even next episode
next
does
episode where
confirm Microfinger was
His
involved.
involvement.
But Olenna, we don't get confirmment until
Till 7/6.
7/6. But I did watch that scene with her and Sansa like at about 20% speed, and you can see she takes her or from Sansa's view, she takes Sansa's left braid, strokes it, right braid, strokes it, reaches up again, slowly cups something, pulls it down.
And it was not
It wasn't her braid
okay.
or her breast.
Okay.
Nope, wasn't her braid or breast.
Nope.
Cups something, brings it down, and then the next shot of Sansa, there's, I want to say, 6 stones left when there
Black
were
Anderson.
7. And so it's one of those, watching it very slow, they did it from here. It was perfectly done. And so for David and Dan, for all the shit I gave you, for everything else, up to this point, you did this shit right.
Yeah, Dave and Dan.
I mean,
I do think these big,
Kudos.
high, pivotal moments, these are the things that they focus on.
yeah.
And sometimes the other stuff is what gets left out. You know, it's just they don't have time to focus on those things. I feel like, in general, they've gotten a lot of the really big moment things really well done.
Yeah, but
Like-
also remember,
like
this was a
Nedhead.
Germ written episode.
It was.
Yeah.
But, like, Nedhead, they did really, really well.
Yeah.
Red Wedding, they did really, really well.
Blackwater.
Blackwater, even though it was like a shortened, low-budget version of it,
In
they
fairness,
did
that was a Germ episode too.
But they did, like, they hit the high points. They make sure that they have the details in order to get the things that matter.
Right, but I think this might be like the moment where eventually they're going to go off key a bit, and
This
there's
is
going to
kind
be
of a summit of the show.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
what you're getting
a
at.
lot of stuff has been really similar to like maybe the books, not like 100% or anything like that, but pretty similar. Like I think moving forward though, now is like different characters are doing different things, and parts in the book of a character are going to be given to a different character that's already in the show, so we don't have to
Yeah, a
create
lot-
a new character.
For the record, in the book, the battle at the wall has already happened by this point.
Right.
It happens like earlier than this whole thing with yeah, because I'm listening through this book and Joffrey hasn't died, and they're
Yeah.
doing the battle at the wall right now.
And yeah, no, you're correct. Yeah, because
So
it's
and we're
'cause
we're
you do go
7 episodes or 5-6 episodes away from the Watchers of the Wall.
yeah, no,
So
and-
there's like a total discrepancy on
Yeah.
timelines. It's not a huge deal,
Yeah.
especially because we don't see John or anybody at the wall this episode, so we can't like directly connect
Right.
that,
exactly,
but-
or
You know the
even
timelines
Marine,
and stuff.
because Marine happens if we went
And
chronologically.
think about the time zone difference, right? I mean,
Right, that's what it is.
Well, Bailey knows that fairly well,
Right.
very well. So, but if you think about all that, because yeah, Marine, honestly, going to your point, the battle for the front wall, strong Belwas, cutting down the guy happens before the Purple Wedding. The Purple Wedding was kind of the ending shock you know, they did the middle shock of the red wedding, purple wedding. Okay, where the fuck do we go from here going into the end? So it is a thing, but I'm glad they did it early. You know, it fits, and where they go from here, it's okay. It does work through season 4.
But yeah, I definitely kind of see where this is kind of a lot of different plot lines start going kind of downhill from here. Like I do think they hold it together for season 4. I think season 4 is good.
Right.
Season 5 is where certain plot lines start getting questionable.
Right.
Season 6 is off the rails
like,
in certain ones.
Eventually,
by a lot.
they run out of stuff that's already been written, and they kind of go on by their own
Where if
accord,
they just
if you
would
will.
It's time to
Paste
make
it.
our own stuff.
If they just would have pasted a little bit differently, like for certain plot lines, like, hey, let's skip them for like 3 episodes, which I know is because more of a logistic, like, filming issue of like, well, we can't just have like this one actor, main big plot actor in for like 2 episods in a season. Like, that's just, it's unfortunately not going to happen. That's what the story requires. But you just can't, like, oh, we're going to fly this guy from, you know, to Iceland or to Croatia for 2 episodes that are filming like months apart from each other, most likely.
Yeah.
It's just logistics issues that makes it tough, I think.
Yeah, and I think
I mean, it happens.
a lot of it from their end was just budget issues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like, well, we got to do this, we got to do that. We have to spend this amount of money. I don't know. Like, they could have just hired me, and I'd have done it for free.
You know, and Glenn, you know, is still available. He could leave his job now to do the job that you're looking for. I mean, I think they're done filming for season 8
Damn
at
it.
this point. But
There goes that.
there goes that. That could have been
I
our
mean,
story.
there's always the prequel.
He could
There
be
you
the
go.
Mexican soccer announcer. Just
Biblioteca.
Grey worm.
I'm sorry, the Dorn soccer announcer.
That's Spanish. That's Spain. That's
Jesus.
not Mexican. It's a little different.
Fair enough.
He'll
But,
live if you get him help right away.
So what else can we talk about this? We can go into Sansa going to the Vale, which I think we're gonna have a lot of episodes coming up on that. So maybe
Yeah.
let's not do that. But we can also maybe reference Olenna in basically season 7, where she's like, "Yeah, I fucking did that," and
Well,
we'll
hell,
get there
Look at that
eventually.
shit.
We can fucking reference Elena later this season, where she's like, "Did you really think I would let you marry the monster?" You know, she calls it out because I want to say it's later this season.
Because
and
basically she's saying, "You're better
She's
off
saying to
marrying
Marjorie.
Tommen."
Tommen, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
She
saying
said it to Marjorie, but she doesn't, like, blatantly say, yeah, I poisoned
The water hole.
fucking giant baby pussy.
Yeah.
you know, but so Elena is a shrewder player in this game than anyone. Because here's the thing. Watching that scene, literally watching that scene, slow motion, there's no inclination apart from the grab from Sansa's neck that she did anything. And I'm saying, I'm watching this at fucking 22%,
Pretty
knowing
slick.
what I'm watching for. There's no drop in the cup. There's no nothing. This is a perfectly played plan because she knows what needs to be done. Sansa is, and that's the other point of when she was like, you need to come to Highgarden and you need to do this. She's already setting Sansa up for failure because she's like, that came from your fucking necklace. Tyrion, and she just played it off, but she's like, I can figure out a way to get Tyrion in there. Elena is the baddest fucking bitch
Well, and
in this
then-
entire fucking universe.
And then she plays, like, she goes about her business like nothing's wrong. Like, there's some people that do this kind of stuff, and, like, okay, you can tell something's up by that fucking guy.
yeah,
The way he's looking, the way he's just kind of meandering around. She plays it off like everyday life, like, you know, that's her personality. And
help your kings, you fucking idiots. You know. Sorry, Bailey. Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I feel like everyone's touched on exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I really feel like the production did a good job with the Purple Wedding. I do like the change of Penny to this dwarf show. The Five King, the War of the Five Kings.
Yes.
Because they don't do that in the book, right?
It's just Penny and Groat. It's Penny and Groat.
It's the jousting dwarves on the pig and the dog, and
Joffrey takes the same place of Tyrion, Uncle.
And Littlefinger is not there, but we think it's him that put the idea to do this. Hey, you know what's going to really piss off your uncle is having dwarves at your wedding. That was like one of his last things as, Master of Coin. Yeah. Kind of, hey, I'm getting ready to leave, but guess what? You're getting married. Do this.
Here's a good idea.
Right. Take this one.
I saw this act that you might appreciate.
Right. Yeah. Do it subtly, and I appreciate that the show did its own thing, and I think it works almost better for where the show goes with it.
Yes.
Because it hits a lot of it's kind of a culmination point. It really brings this episode 2 of a season 2, and again, kind of a peak of the show. It kind of culminates everything to this point, and then everything after this point is like a whole new story. I mean, because there's no Joffrey, who's been kind of top dog. I mean, Robert was there for season 1, but like even with that, we knew that Joffrey was like one of the major protagonists,
next
right?
in line,
Exactly.
Like, and even when he wasn't the king, he was still a major protagonist of Rob
and Tyrion
and Tyrion, like these two characters that we love, and it's just interesting to see that now he's gone.
Yeah.
What's the fallout on that? Which is a lot, I think, bigger than Rob's fallout. Like that's more of like a rock in the stomach. Like, oh god,
that was the hero's journey that you're thinking is gonna happen. Cut off at his knees. Joffrey coming up, you're thinking, okay, this guy's gonna be the good never die young. The Billy Joel song, and the good never
only the
good die young.
And the good never die.
Only the good die young.
And they're there.
Let's kill them all.
And so you're thinking, okay, so Joffrey's got to make it all the way through. And then this happens. And you're like, shit, okay. And especially if you're watching him from a cursory aspect, like you're not really paying attention. Like Stannis is kind of secondary. So you're not really paying attention to what Stannis is doing. It's like, oh, I want to watch the cool stuff, the dragons.
John at the wall, and Dany with the dragons, Joffrey.
You'll get nothing.
He's one of those players.
Yeah, he's one of those players. But then when he dies off, because he's the big bad. He's the big bad up to this point.
Baddie.
I mean, he's the big dick. I'll put it that way.
Questionable. You can confirm for us.
Up to this point, but once he dies off, you're right. Yeah, where are we going? It's like, shit, okay. Because you're right. In the book-wise, this is towards the end of Storm of Swords.
Crash into me.
So you're like, okay, this is finishing up. It's still a hard hit. But now with the show, it's like...
No Dave Matthews Band in this
No
house.
Dave Matthews Band.
That's one of the firm rules.
Yes. Tom Petty and Dave Matthews. I'm with you on that.
And yes, I meant Green Street Hooligans. Firm rules. It's one of the rules of the firm.
So when Joffrey dies off early in this year, it's like, okay, where the fuck are we going? Because this happens later. I know they couldn't stretch out the wedding. Oh, we're planning this wedding, planning this wedding. And I do like...
It was all season 3. Like...
Second half of season 3. It was 5 to 10 of season 3 of the wedding plan. But then you also have 1 and 2 of season 4. It's like, okay, so I'm glad they did it the way they did it. But it's like, shit, where are they going? I'm glad. I like season 4. It's a good build. And like we said before, 1, 2, 3, and most of 4 is a great fucking show.
Is what made this one of the best shows on TV.
Exactly. Then it gets, and we're also spoiled because we're book readers and we know what stories we want to hear.
We can fill some of the details in.
Yeah,
but how many people would you say out of the viewers of the show are book readers as well?
Oh, 25%.
Less.
So that's 75%.
All right,
only
plus
show
or minus. Bailey, what do you think? For 50 million viewers or whatever it is, 25% plus or minus on that are book readers.
I'd say a solid 30%.
Oh, so you say higher.
You're
you say,
going
you say
over?
plus 25%.
Just a little bit.
Okay. I say less than. But maybe my book reader status is different than like, oh, I flew through it once.
And that's
coming from an avid reader perspective, and I know that. So like maybe my gauge on a book reader is different than someone that read the books.
I'll say there's a good 25% in my camp of I watched like season 1, or season 1, season 2, and I read everything, but I didn't delve deep into the history and all that. It cursory. Yeah. Cursory mainstay. So I think a good 20% is on my camp of we read it, we watched it, but we're happy with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and I think the majority of the viewers only watch the show. They have no idea about the books, they know the book, they just don't read.
Yeah.
So
right,
they've heard through forums or whatever, like, this is a difference.
This is what happens. I just think they're going to cater to those people more so than the book reader, and it sucks because as a book reader you want to see some of the stuff come to fruition and stuff like that, but with the budgets and shit like that they have, like, it's just not going to happen.
Yep. All right, Burger King this Whopper, Glenny.
Burger King? We done?
We're done.
All right. Thank you for joining us for our epilogue episode, Season 4, Episode 2, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But minus the witch, plus the rose. As always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I.
As always, stay imaginary.
And as always, keep reading.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Love you.
How do you know this?
That's what I do.
I love you.
I drink, and I know things.
It's our first date. And no, I don't. We haven't met each other. But I just wanted to tell you that I love you.
We're on a first date together.
God damn it, what's that from?
What is that from?
What was that from? Us driving down.
That's Glenn and I talking about the song that we misheard the lyrics from.
I know what song.
Driving down
No, you told me.
Sounds
You
accurate.
explained that.
Ice
Okay,
and
that's
Fire
what it was. Ice and Fire Con.
Yeah.
We're sitting down on the first date together.
You're sitting down on the first date.
All right. Goodbye, stream.
Electricity freak, future freak, biotic freak, heterophobia freak, 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 freak. Election, 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 electricity freak, election, election, election. Electricity freak.